Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and it's Manchester United against Brighton in the FA Cup. Let's have it. Let's have it today. Come on, United. United. You know, screw the Glazers, screw Sir Jim, screw Jason Wilcox, screw the pantomime that is Man United, because at the forefront of everything and at the core, they can't impact what Manchester United means to us, and winning today will not be because of them. It'll be despite them, as it always is. These prats in charge. So yes, we need to win today. FA Cup bloody wish it was the quarterfinal. FA Cup third round. Old Trafford. I mean, look. To be fair, I mean you can't say this. You can't really say this, but Brighton haven't even gone that strong. They've changed their goalkeeper. They've changed their double centre-backs. They've rested Matoma. So I don't know why they're doing that. Answers on a postcard. We've gone strong. As you can see, our team's strong. I like the team. I mean, look. Fletcher over Solskjaer as far as I'm concerned. Mainoo in for Casemiro. Casemiro dropped. And I didn't realise I had the little thing on the arm there. I do like this jumper actually. It's gone up. It was an 8, now it's a 10. So yeah, look, I wouldn't say it's Brighton's B team, I wouldn't go that far, but I do think it's fair to say that for whatever reason, and I said this about the FA Cup yesterday, it was great that Macclesfield beat Palace, but it was Palace reserves. It was great that Wrexham beat Forest, but it was Forest reserves. And we need to take this very, very seriously. And if others don't take it seriously, well, you know, who gives a toss? We do need to take it seriously. We have taken it seriously. What are your thoughts on the team? Well, the only thing is, has anybody heard any? I feel like we shouldn't be surprised that Luke Shaw's not even in the squad. But I did say when did we play our last game? Tuesday night. I said, I wonder how long Luke Shaw's going to last playing at left back, because left centre back, he can have a cigar on, he can have a little jog, you know, he can just dance around. You put him at left back and he misses the next game. So I don't know whether he's being rested, which tactically is not a bad idea from Fletcher, but he did play on Tuesday, so I'd have thought he would have played today. So I think it's rested, according to Simon Stone, says Alan. So look, you know, he has played a lot of football and he's going to struggle playing left back. So that probably makes sense. I think Dorgu's been good in recent weeks, so him back at left back. Delo, obviously, we have to pick. Yoro in next to Martinez, I think is a bit of rotation, to be honest. I wouldn't necessarily think that Maguire should be starting. Mainoo in the Casemiro role I really like. I mean, remember, Mainoo started off as a 6. I remember under, was it Ten Hag, where he played him at Goodison Park and St James's Park as a 6 when he was sort of like starting out, so he can play that role. We've sort of had arguments about Mainoo over the last couple of years about what his position is, and some people think he's a 10 and some people think he's an 8. Fundamentally, I think 6 might be the best place for him. I know Amrim didn't like to play him there, but I understood that because it was a midfield pivot, and you've got Bruno, and then you play Mainoo, and he's all on his own. But I think in a midfield 3, I think as a 6, he can do that job. So I don't have a problem with that. Agate, I'd rather have Agate next to Mainoo than Casemiro because he's got legs. Bruno in the 10, very happy with. Mount and Cunha, you know, considering we don't have Mbeumo and Ahmad, I'm happy with that. And Sesko gets to continue. So I quite like the team. And look, I'm not saying Darren Fletcher's the answer. And I think you have to have, I don't know whether it actually comes across. Maybe I need to apologise. I don't know whether it does come across, but I'll make it very clear to you. I don't want to see Man United lose games. I never do. You know, when we scammed it against Brentford that time, I was really happy with McTominay scoring those 2 goals, and everyone said it was embarrassing. And I'm like, yeah, but at the very core, I just want Man United to win. It sets my week up. You know, if Man United win, I go to sleep better. I wake up better. I just want Man United to win from being a little boy. You just want Man United to win. So, you know, I understand the issues with the ownership, and we won't forget those. You know, intelligent people can do 2 things. They can want Man United to win, and they can want the Glazers out. Thick people can't do it. So we'll have some people who are really out the owners, right? And if we win a couple of games, they'll call us moaners for having a pop at the owners because they can't do nuance. They can't do 2 things at once. So expect the toxicity to grow as we continue to say, get these idiots out of our club, but also hopefully Man United win games. That's where I am. Some people can't do it. And it flips it the other way as well. There'll be some people saying, get Wilcox out, get the board out, and I hope United lose. And they'll have a pop at us for going, why do you want Man United to win when they're owned by Ineos? For me, it's really simple. I always want Man United to win, and I want these idiots out, because ultimately, the way I square that off in my head is, if we win, it's nice, but we're definitely going to lose. Not today, but in the future. We won't succeed to the level we need to succeed with these owners. So, you know, I think that's what's going to happen. So, for me, win for me, for the good people, for you. I want us to win for you. I want us to win for me. I don't give a shit about the owners. Don't give a shit about Wilcox. They don't prove anything. They can't. If we win today and we win the FA Cup, does it change anything that they've been an absolute disaster over the last 18 months? Does it change anything that they've spent £500 million on 2 managers they've sacked after 3 months? Doesn't change any of that. But we might get a bit of joy. We might get into the Europa League. So I think we've got to take this very seriously. I really, really do. It won't be easy to win the FA Cup, though. It won't be easy to win the FA Cup because Arsenal are still in it. Man City is still in it. Chelsea is still in it. They're not taking it seriously at the moment because they've got other things. But when it hits April and they're still in it, they will take it seriously. So it's not easy to win, but we have to go for this. It's as I say, it's a trophy. If I'm being completely blunt, more importantly, it's a pathway into Europe. So, yeah. What about Lacey not starting, says Killian? Well, he's on the bench. The bench is Bienda, Casemiro, Fletcher, both his kids on the bench, which is fine. Amram did it. Heaven, Lacey, Maguire, Malacia, Xerxes. I mean, it's not a great bench. I've got to be honest. That is not a good bench. But it will be next week when we've got Mbermo and Ahmad back. So that'll be stronger. But, I mean, it's not a great bench, to be honest with you. It's quite... Lacey's the exciting thing. I don't know about the Fletchers. I'm not even sure if they're... I don't know about the Fletchers. I mean, they're well spoken about, but I don't know what they're going to be. Lacey, I think, is very exciting. Maguire, Malacia, Xerxes, Casemiro, Bienda. You know, we know all about them, don't we? But, look, the Brighton team's interesting. So, Ayari in the midfield is on the bench. Dunk's on the bench. Van Heck's on the bench, Verbruggen's on the bench, and Mitoma's on the bench. You would expect all of those players to be starting for Brighton normally. So a few players coming in. They play quite open anyway, Brighton, and I think with our front four, we've got a really good opportunity to win this game today. So let's hope that we can go and do that because 3 points, not 3 points, in that FA Cup draw is what we want. Anyway, let me get your comments in. JT3Cat is a new member. Welcome to Members Club. I had a Toblerone today, Mark, says L1999. Happy with the lineup, Mark. Mainoo and Agate in the midfield. I'm excited to see this. And do you think this will be Fletcher's last game in charge, says Dale? Well, I mean, look, I want a bit of escapism today. I've been saying to you for the last couple of days, I'm actually looking forward to this game because it's important. We've got the Manchester derby on Saturday. You know, the games for me are always the most important thing, and I'm looking forward to them. With regards to the manager, I don't know what's true and what's not. Immediately after the show this morning, I had a message from somebody saying that Solskjaer, there's a lot of spin around him. It's almost like there's PR around him. It might not be true, so we'll have to wait and see with that. I just think if United have made their decision already, which I'm led to believe they have, it's remarkable, really, because I don't think Solskjaer is going to be any better than Fletcher. And I don't think Fletcher's the right guy. But I look at the team he's picked. You know, Bruno's gone back to a 10. Mainoo's in for Casemiro. We're playing a back four. I mean, is that not just simplistic for the rest of the season? I mean, we're not doing anything for the rest of the season, are we? You know, we're not going to be doing anything for the rest of the season because we don't have the we don't know what the plan is. But I think with you know, I don't really see what Solskjaer's going to do that Fletcher can't do, and it won't cost us any money. You know, I'm sort of like. There's theories out there that if we qualify for the Champions League, Solskjaer could get a bonus of £4 or £5 million. Well, you don't need to pay that to Fletcher. You know, there is a financial thing here. I don't look, in the bluntest way, Andy Murdoch said it. Exactly, we don't need Ollie. I don't think there's a big difference between Fletcher and Ollie because Fletcher's been there and he knows the players. Ollie's only going to know 2 or 3 players and those players sacked him. So I just think maybe if Fletcher wins today, why would you change it? I hope United get a win today, as my best friend who supports United has mostly given up on football and now follows and supports ice hockey, says Solar Panel. Southgate, same odds, 12-1 as Fletcher to become next manager, says Robbo. Why is JJ not on the bench? He's clearly all of the Fletcher's kids and Lacey. There's definitely 5 defenders and 2 attackers. JJ, much better option. I watch Academy, says Liam. Yeah, but he did say in the interview that he wasn't going to use JJ. Whether he should have done or not, he said he wasn't going to do it. Shaw and Casemiro, 3 games in a week, says Robert McCormack. Yeah, and the crap as well. Liam, thank you very much. Reckon a decent win here halts the Ollie disaster train, says Swanee. I just want to win today. Just want to win today. I'm in absolute agony, by the way. I've just realised I have to stand up for United games. Oh, my God. My back. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I've done. I feel like I've had a really big load on the back. Like, you know, like carrying a piano. None of that. I went for a walk last night and it's really icy, and I think, you know, when you slip and you jolt your body, I think I've like pulled a muscle in my back. I'm absolutely in agony. I can't shift it. It's really bad. You know, like sometimes you can click it back into place. I just can't. Oh God, that's even worse. But I can't sit down. It hurts even more. I told you he'll start Mainoo, says Amit. Well done. Opinion on Beth becoming a Glazer. I don't get all this. I mean, me and Beth have had a bit of a chat about it last week, and you know, just avoid trolls on X. Don't start interacting. Don't feed the trolls. I've seen some of it. I mean, you know, I think it's disgusting. Some of the, you know, I actually saw somebody having a pop at how she looks, which I think is disgusting. You know what? If you can't have a grown-up conversation with somebody, don't fucking bother. You know. Really don't. But I don't think Beth's a Glazerite at all. Look, the way I look at it is that some people can't do nuance, like I said. Some people can't want Man United to win and then hate the owners. So if we win, a load of people will like the owners again, because that's just how they work, and that's why we fail. But what people need to realise is, and it happens all the time, it gets so boring, right? Our problem is Jason Wilcox, Omar Barada, Sir Jim Radcliffe and the Glazers. That's Man United's problem, yeah? It's not Gary Neville. It's not Beth. You know, it's not Laurie Whitwell. It's not the United stand. You know, it's them. But people can't do that. They have to do the Glazers' work for them. And there's only so many times you can tell people before you just go, it's never going to change. But I see it all the time. The problem is Wilcox, Glazers, Ineos, Barada. They're the problem. It's so bloody obvious that they're the problem. Nah, they're not the problem. Let's have a pop at this person. Let's have a pop at that person. And you just think, yeah, I know we're angry, but why do you get bored of being angry at the people who are causing it and start having a pop at people who aren't? You know, it's incredible to me. Andy Atherton says, I've just put 100 on us at evens after seeing their side, says Andy Atherton. I can't believe we're evens. I can't believe it. Whack a Toblerone up there, Mark. That'll sort it out. I'll tell you what, I could use it as a like little, I don't know. Little what, exactly. Amit's very happy. So are you happy with the team? Let me know. Don't forget you can do a super chat. We'll read those out. It's a busy, normal chat today. One dream signing, not Anderson. Who would you choose, says Salman? You know what? Now that we're playing a 4-3-3, I think Angelo Stiller would be incredible. I think Adam Wharton would be good in a 3. Obviously, it's a great question, actually, because most of my assessment around United's midfield has been based on a double pivot, because that's what I thought we were going to do for the next few years, the 3-4-3. So I was like, Elliot Anderson would be brilliant in that. But now that it's a midfield 3, I think that, Wharton will work well in a 3. I'm looking forward to watching us tonight, this afternoon. I really am. I think we've got a great chance to win, put a smile on the face. As I said, I've not really said anything about the players this week. I mean, the players do deserve criticism, but they didn't sack Amorim. I haven't got a problem with the players. I mean, I'd change that squad, I would, but I haven't got a problem with the players this week. I don't think they need to they didn't want Amrim to go like us. They it's the board. So hopefully we get a good result tonight. Evan Whelan says, how did the new wiping technique go, says Ian. And Evan says, it's all that. Mate, you know what? This is a bit of a life lesson. You shouldn't be getting this, 15 minutes before the start of the game. Right, this is deadly serious. I was doing a watch-along the other day, and somebody said something about, when you go for a number 2, do you wipe standing up or sitting down? Like, I don't remember who taught me, but all my life, standing up. Apparently, I'm in the minority. Less than 30% do it that way. So for the last 2 days, I've tried and I just can't believe I've wasted 45 years of my life standing up. This sit-down technique is absolutely goated. So I just can't believe at my age I didn't. And it still got me thinking, what else do I do that is the minority and the majority thing would make my life better? It's been such an not an eye opener. It's been an arse opener in a sense, not that way, but it's a game changer. Less wipes, more hygienic. I'm getting seconds back. But anyway, let's get on with the chat. Because if you weren't part of that, you're probably going, what the hell's going on here? Jacob says, no nonsense, take care of your back. Nothing colours the day so grey as back pain. If you don't do it already, yoga or Pilates does miracles. Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate that. My fellow back pain consigliere. Did you try, I've done that from, another one asking here. Mao says, did you try sitting down method instead of standing up? People are fascinated, and I've got to say, sitting down for the win. Let's go, Mark. We need the win today, and Sesko scores, says Nog. And what do you think about Brian, Ahmad, and Mason fighting for that right wing position in this team, says FIFA King? Oh, Mason Mount's not going to fight for anything, is he? 3-2-1, I'm injured again. So, it's Ahmad and Mbermo. Look, Mason Mount has had a good season for us, but I'd sell him for a packet of chips. I really would. I just think he's a waste of space, really. It's not his fault. I'm not being nasty about it. The guy can't stay fit. So what's the point? Ahmad and Mbermo, one of those, please. One Dream signing, done that one. Thank you. Thank you very much. So you're saying we did convert you to being a wiper while sitting, says Irish. Yeah, convert me to something else, but not anything sinister. Anyway, back to the football. David Clifford always says something good. He's given us a super chat, a $5 US dollars super chat. He says, do you feel Mainoo needs to prove himself given Amrim didn't fancy him? He didn't do well when he came on in games. I feel he's too lazy, but let's see. No, I mean, to be honest, I really don't want to see that. I really don't want to see that conversation because it's weak. If we win today and Mainoo's man of the match, we won't be able to move for idiots saying, have that Amarim. And it's like, oh my God, why do these people infiltrate our fan base? Have that Amarim. I mean, are we literally now, the real battle is Amarim against Mainoo? The real battle is Man United haven't been in a title race for over 10 years. We're not in Europe. We're in £1 billion of debt. And our owners have just sacked another manager for no fucking reason. So Amarim Mainoo couldn't give a toss. I like Mainoo and I wanted to get him more game time. But let's be honest, if Mainoo plays well today, it doesn't really send any message to Amarim because Amarim didn't play with the midfield 3, he played with the midfield 2. And Mainoo playing in a midfield that's got Bruno and Agate in it is very different to Mainoo playing in a midfield 2 with Bruno. It's a different team. So I think that, I just want Mainoo to play well. I think the midfield is a big problem for us. And look, this is Mainoo's opportunity. There are people out there that think he's overhyped. There's people who think he's underrated. There's people who think he's overrated. So look, hopefully he will get that man of the match performance. And I think that place is up for grabs as a holding midfielder, definitely. One dream midfield signing that's unrealistic, says Salman. Declan Rice. Front to back, Nog. Do you turn your shower on, Jet, for your arse, says William. Okay, we're definitely not doing this. We've done the Toblerone, we've done the wipes, we're not doing anything else. Are you aware how often you started saying at the end of a sentence? I noticed it once and now notice it all the time. You're welcome, says Gix. I think I've done it for years, mate. I've noticed it for years, so I don't think it's anything new. Jason Wilcox and Omar definitely wipe standing up, hence why they stink at their jobs, says Irish Ryan. Okay. Okay. Anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in. Please do share the video because we're only 300 live viewers away from 30,000. Get involved with the United Stand. We've had a massive week this week, and that's testament to you. Like, we've had a massive week this week. It's, you know, for the first week in January, it's been incredible. So many views on the 8 o'clock show at night, the 10 o'clock show in the morning, the 2 o'clock shows. Because it's been a bad week for Man United, but there's been a lot of conversations around the ownership. So we get pure escapism today. But please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner to do it. Get involved with the channel and United Stand. Daily content for you as well. Don't forget the watch along and through until full time. Then we've got my match reaction with player ratings. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. And then we're back in the studio for the fan forum. So we've got you covered. And hopefully, I think the most important thing today is, and this is true, playing well and losing, get out. Don't care. Play well, play bad and win. Yes. Just get in that. Get your hat in the drawer. No, get your balls in the hat. Look, basically, we want somebody to be playing with our ball whenever the draw is. Jonathan says, Sebastian Honus is my hope in the summer. There we go. Do you scrunch or fold the toilet roll? First super chat, and Lacey's going to score, says Louis. Well, I'm glad you asked the football question, so I'll answer yours. Hopefully Lacey will come on and score. He was very exciting against Burnley. Scrunch or fold? Fold. How about the players send a message to us fans with a decent performance instead of sending one to Amrim, says Double D. Didn't even realise people wiped. I just used nappies, says Graham Souness. He's played the game. Walsh Up says, feels like the criteria is for the interim role is who has had the least failures as a manager and will do as we say, says Walsh. And did you see the video Eric Winaldo made about you, says Martin? I don't know who this person is. It's the second time somebody has mentioned this person's name. I don't know who you are. I feel like I'm meant to know who you are. I don't know who you are. It's like the crocodile. You know, remember I said something about a crocodile a couple of years ago? And there's a crocodile guy in Australia who lost his shit and was like, get yourself down here, mate. And I'll tell you what, you wouldn't last 2 minutes with a bloody crocodile. Oh, I'm bloody hard. Look at me with me bloody crocodile. He's not from Cornwall, by the way. And people going on about it. I was like, I don't know who this person is. I'm not being disrespectful. I don't know who you are. So realistically, you know, I just file it in the drawer of somebody else using this community to try and glow themselves up. I don't know who you are, and I don't care. Oh, you've disagreed with me. My own chat disagrees with me. Hello? This isn't a cult. I get bantered by my own chat. Toblerones, wipes, you know. I don't need to go and find people I've got no interest in having a pop at me because you lot do it on a daily basis. Anyway, Mark, comment on when we buy players, we historically don't play them first 3 months in any meaningful way. Why are we pushing for signings in January given our track record, says Dan. Well, we do. We do. Cunha went straight into the team and Burma went straight into the team. So I do think we do. I do think we do. It depends what the player is. I think if it's a younger player like Sesko or Le Mans, obviously there's a bit of adjustment period. But Dorgu got thrown straight in and he was a young player as well. So I think we do, yeah. Look at the flags. Love that. Really am loving what they're doing, the Red Army, actually. Look, it's a long way from the Bundesliga, but it's better than most clubs in the Premier League. And it's good to see. Sir Alex is here as well. I don't like some of the shit Sir Alex has been getting as well. I've seen it in our comments. I've seen it online. A lot of people saying, you know, he is accountable. Paul Scholes sat next to him and Nicky Butt. Oh, well, I like what those two have got to say. I wonder. Imagine if Nicky Butt went, "I love you, Sir Alex, but you're part of the problem. See ya." I don't think he's part of the problem. I think the problem is the problem, and it's the problem we all know. Would you like to see games being called off? I think it's the only thing that scares people like our owner, says Billy Welsh. Look, if you're asking me, and you're not, but I'll give you a scenario. If you're asking me, would I rather Man United lose today or the Man City game get called off in the context of which will make the owners do anything? I don't want to lose today. I'd rather see the Manchester Derby get called off, because the Manchester Derby getting called off because of protests, they'll shit themselves. Their arse will disappear. We'd have a midfielder by the next day. So But it's very difficult to do that. The club know that. The Liverpool game, I can't remember. The Liverpool game got called off. I don't know whether that was the intent. I think it was. But it had a big impact. So the club are really wary about it. You know, if you think about it, they got boxed in, didn't they, at the hotel? They couldn't get to the ground. So, look, I think it's funny, actually, with Scholes and Butt. They both said they'd take Roy Keane as manager. And then Roy Keane has said that Sir Alex Ferguson's hanging around like a bad smell. He's probably going, yeah, you too. What's this stuff about Keane being a manager? Just here to enjoy the match, gaffer. Anyway, yeah, so I would rather see games called off as long as it's done, you know, without anybody getting hurt or arrested. Rugby background, but Bother for manager, says Dreadnought. No thanks. With the Ferguson role obsolete, it seems director of football are subtly taking the role to disguise it as a board role for job security while the coach remains the fall guy. Wilcox, says Carl. Are you Barney Stinson in disguise, says Amit. Feelings on Fletch, says Adam. Mate, we shouldn't have an interim. That's my feeling. We shouldn't be having an interim. I think it's a joke that we're back here with an interim. I mean, this is the fourth time this has happened. Ollie, Ranić, Amrim in a way was a bit of an... Well, I know he wasn't, was he? But Giggs, you know, we've done interim too many times. So, I mean, it's embarrassing that we're going to have an interim. But now that we're in that situation, you've got to live in the real world. I completely agree. In order of what I want, Carrick, Fletcher, Solskjaer. That's the three. But I wouldn't want any of them, really. I'd rather we actually went for somebody that's a proper coach as an interim. In fact, tell a lie, Carrick, Fletcher, Rude, Ollie. I don't want Ollie. I don't want Ollie. I've seen it. I don't want Ollie. And people think that's disrespectful. I don't think it is. It's a preference. Anyway, we're about ready to go here. Did you see Bristol City last night? What would you think if we drew them next, says Ben J? I'd be happy to draw Bristol City if that would mean we're through. So yeah, I'd be very happy. Anyway, thank you, Dan and Ben. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Some interesting comments coming in. So Pascal Gross come in from Dortmund, hasn't he? They brought him back. Hinchelwood, Rutter. Obviously, Matoma's been at the AFCON. Minte is injured. Matoma's on the bench. We should be winning this. We should be winning this. We definitely should. Make sure you share the video, everybody. We're about to start. We've got a very strong team as well. Well, it's probably about as strong as we can be at the moment. And I mean, look, we do miss De Ligt. Don't know what the story is with De Ligt, actually. We've not had any updates on De Ligt. I mean, he's been out for a long time, hasn't he? He has been out for a long time. Don't know what the story is at all. Sorry, Matoma's not at the AFCON. Matoma's on the bench. Baleba is at the AFCON. Minte is injured. Matoma's on the bench. And Baleba's at the AFCON. Did I not say that? Did I mix it all up? Mark, I know you do a lot of watch-alongs, but when did you last see a match at Old Trafford, says Cry? Well, I presume you're a troll, but I'll answer the question. The last match I went to was Seb's first game against Brentford last season. And I've been to countless Man United games in my life, but since doing the United stand, it's my priority. So that's why I don't go to games, which I think is sad, but ultimately sitting and watching a game at Old Trafford is very self-serving, isn't it? Whereas, we're a huge community, the most viewed United content in the world. I'm not going to go to Man United games when I can do that when I stop in the next few years. B-days are also life-changing, says Shank, and even if the interim doesn't work this season, they could replace him in the summer with another ex-player in their current interview list, says Chris. And Luke says, when Bruno leaves, Ahmad or Cunha at 10, and why not swap Yoro with Delo and start Heaven? Other clubs like City converted centre-backs to full-backs, says Luke. Well, because everybody bloody loves Delo at Man United. I mean, I fully expect Delo to be benching Mazraoui for the next 4 months as well. Can you wish my girlfriend Malene a happy birthday, says Gush. Happy birthday. Hope you have a great day, and I hope you want Man United to win. I hate how many games we have left with an interim, says Sid. Well, let's have a look how we set up here. Mainoo definitely looking to take the ball, so he's playing in the pivot, which is good to see. All eyes on Mainoo. Mark, you're not allowed to retire. Look, I've already told you we've got some big stuff happening this year, hopefully. So, I mean, I can't hint about any of it because there's a couple of things, but hopefully they'll be good. Nice ball into Cunha. And this should be 1-0. Delow. Misses. Fucking hell. Why bother playing Delow through on one-on-one? He's fucking shit. He's absolutely shit. How does he miss so many one-on-one? I mean, can't remember that one against West Ham. Oh, he's had another shot now. He's fucking rubbish. This guy, and he's on the edge of the box, and he's put it over like he's playing rugby. He's just had a one-on-one, and then a shot from the edge of the box. He's absolute shit. How do you miss that? Why is this not on normal TV? Oh, it's on TNT. Well, because they've paid for the rights now, haven't they? It's gone beyond a paywall, the FA Cup. I mean, it's a good save by the keeper, to be honest, but... Mate, we need Mazraoui back ASAP. I love playing Brighton, though. They play so open. I reckon we could have... we could score a few goals here tonight. Respect to Brighton. They hardly ever win on the road, and they play really open, so it should play into our hands really well. Here we go. Sesko. Oh, he's not there. He should have been quicker there. Could have been in. Good start to the game, though. No, United have never figured it out how and why Delow gets so many one-on-ones, because basically defenders go, leave him. Don't worry. Should I track him, Gaffer? No, let him go. Don't bother. He'll fuck it up himself. Just leave Delow. Don't track his runs. Why is Delow in that position? Go away, says 1 Inch Wonder. We haven't got anybody else, have we? Who to blame says owner's formula is so repetitive people are starting to see right through their games. Also, I started making jewellery from spoons on Etsy. Up cycle utensils. There we go. Who to blame? Check it out. Don't let United age you too fast, Mark, says the wacky. Do you ever think United will go back to the golden age? No. Ian, no. Not under this ownership, no. But I actually, you know, in fairness, I don't actually think we're going to see anybody do what United did for 20 years again. Man City have sort of done it under Pep. But yeah, I think it's going to be very difficult. Delow is awful, says Ellis. Can you say happy birthday to Noah, says Blocks. That's for tomorrow. Happy birthday for tomorrow, mate. Who has B-days now anyway? I mean, I remember like going to my gran and granddad's house when I was a kid. They had B-days in their bathroom, but it's a long time since I've seen a B-day in any bathroom. That should have been a yellow there. Oh, yeah. That's my back. I wasn't going, oh, it should have been a yellow. Yeah, it should have been a yellow. Anyway, we're good at set pieces. You know what we need as well? We need to win because it's the FA Cup, but we also need a bit of confidence going into Man City and Arsenal, our next two games. So, yeah. How many more sponsors do you think we could get on this kit? Looking like a bloody F1 car. Short free kick to Dorgu. Another free kick. I like Dorgu, I do. I like Dorgu. Hash has had enough of Delow. Sit down, Grandad, says Kay. I can't, it hurts even more. Great to see Bruno back. Great to see Bruno back in a number 10 as well. Is he shooting from here? May as well have a shot. Nearly went in. I mean, shouldn't go in, but played a 1-2 with Mainoo, hit it low, bottom corner, and for a moment I thought, that's not going in. And then I thought, you know what? It might go in. And then it didn't go in. To be fair, it's a standard save. He's not really got hold of that. To be fair, he has. It's a good shot, but he's not really got the power on it. Another corner for United. Edward, welcome to the Members Club. Thanks for getting your badge in, pal. Join the Members Club. Thank you very much. That's not a bad cross. Should be 1-0 on the back post. Goal kick. Look at that Mainoo there, the way he blocked him up. I mean, look, we nearly benefit from that. That's a bloody foul, that is. They need to sort all it. Have you seen that Arteta, I don't know whether it was a joke, I think Arteta might have recruited, they've just gone and got this guy who's apparently the best long throw-in specialist in the world. And you know what, I just thought, even as an Arsenal fan, I'd be furious. I'd be like, oh, great. Lovely ball. Well done, Dorgu. Had a good start, Dorgu. Intercepted well. Read the danger well. It's Yoro who's lost his man there, but it's Dorgu who's read the danger. Arshed says hi, says Iron. Hello. Predictions on Madrid against Barcelona later, says Indian. I don't know. Barcelona? What they're doing? Is it an exhibition or real? Are you cold, Mark? Yeah. No, I've become addicted to my gilet. And also, because it reminds me of Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future. So I'm hoping that by wearing it, we can go back to better times at Man United, you know? Michael J. Fox, FC. Going back in time to the glory days. Yoro's getting a bit of stick. Look, you know what we need with Yoro? One way or another, we need his confidence to grow. I'll tell you what, be interesting what he does if we win today in relation to the Manchester derby. Would you keep Mainoo there or would you bring Casemiro back? Because I'd keep Mainoo there. I'm excited. Hopefully Mainoo has a good game. Hub says I don't like Yoro. I do like Yoro. But it is a prime example of buying generational talent and thinking it's just going to become generational talent. I think it's very similar to Bellingham. Remember Bellingham came to United and met Sir Alex and then chose to go to Dortmund. I think if we'd signed Bellingham, he'd be shit. I think United think buy generational talent and that it'll end up generational. I don't think we realise that you actually need to coach, nurture them and develop them. And I think Yoro has the potential to be generational. It's just whether we've got the ability to actually nurture him. Ifs and buts, but if Bruno had played as a 10 this season, we would have been top 4 or better, says Daniel. If we'd bought a midfielder and played Bruno as a 10, I agree with you. Would you ever do TV commentary, says Hol? I would love to do it. I would love to do it. I very nearly did it a couple of times about 3 years ago after the Sidemen charity game. Corner or a goal kick. Well done, Agate. Delo's crap, says Connor. Is the gaff cold, Mark? No, I mean, I could easily take it off. I just quite like wearing it because your arms keep you cool. But then all round here, it's like having a life jacket. Imagine what it feels. This must be what it felt like when you jumped off the Titanic. Actually, that is not what it felt like. You would not be in the cold sea feeling great, would you? You'd be freezing cold. Actually, so that's not what it would be like at all. That's a bad analogy. We are Michael J. Fox FC. Yeah, I'm not reading the rest of that. I know exactly where that's going, Michael. Yeah, degenerative disease. Yeah, knew it. Bang out of order. I love Michael J. Fox. Secret of My Success is a great film. And Teen Wolf. I used to watch Teen Wolf loads. I tried to watch it last year and it's crap. Good afternoon, Mark. Shout out to everyone on the official Man United Discord channel, says Lawrence Phillips. Well, they won't be here. Oh, you're on the official Man United Discord. Bloody hell. Boo, you bloody Glazerites. You can't be on the official Man United Discord. They won't let you talk properly, surely. Brighton doing all right here. Welbeck, lovely feet. Little dink to the back post. Off the line. Goal. Bollocks. I thought Martinez had got away with it. There won't be an offside because there's no VAR. I told you Welbeck was doing something. The Seagulls have landed. The Seagulls have landed and they've shit on our head. And what a surprise, it's down Delow's side. I'll tell you what, he is about as useful as a batteryless dildo. Couldn't think of anything else. I can't get no satisfaction. Not that I would use one of them, but what I'm saying is some people would, and they'd much rather have batteries in it. I'm digging a hole, just like Man United. I mean, it's down the right-hand side again, isn't it? Who's marking him? Well done, Martinez. Who's marking these players? Are we going to mark people in the box or what? Are we going to mark people in the box? Who's marking the first guy and who's marking the second guy? I mean, why are two people in our penalty box not marked? On a serious note. Shit. Absolute shit. Who's marking who there? Madness. I don't even know who to blame, apart from Delow. Why are two people unmarked in the box? This is Brighton reserves. This is Brighton's reserves as well. Notorious says, I've had enough of watching Delow stink up the pitch. Mason says Delow is about as useful as a white crayon. I actually did have a white crayon once, and it was actually quite good if you are using paper that's not white. Still chewing gum, Sir Alex. Still got the old Wrigley's sponsorship deal. Agate goes under the radar. Mark my words, if he gets minutes, he's going to have haters swallowing their words, says Matt. Yeah, I think he might have been somebody who should have been marking someone in the box there. Are you planning on retiring from the United stand in the next few years, says Tihan. Does Delow even know what right back does, says Man. Scholes don't look very happy, does he? Nicky Butt's like, get me on the podcast. Get me on the fucking podcast. A friend of mine at work is 30 and has never seen Back to the Future, says Raz. Well, oh, it's 2-0. He's missed it. Oh, thank God for that. Rutter. What the fuck's going on here? Do you think they're losing on purpose so we all say get Ollie? I mean, Le Mans was never like that. That would have been an assist. I think he'd have been offside. Rutter would have been offside anyway, to be fair. But Welbeck should have scored. Delow high fives equals 6 so far. Accurate passes equals 2, says Sam. Can you please say hello to my boyfriend, Sean? He watches every single one of your streams and never shuts up about you, says Harriet. Sounds like a legend to me. Sean, have a great year. You've got a keeper there. Well done. I thought we had a keeper as well, but that pass out by Le Mans was absolute shit. Thank you very much, everyone getting involved. So United are 1-0 down here after 15 minutes. I suppose it makes it interesting. The comeback will be better. But bloody hell. Bloody hell. FPL, I missed your chat. You said it went through so fast. I think you said, Mark, you always blame Delow. Mate, I've been doing this for a very long time. I don't just make up random blame. If somebody plays well, I'll praise them. If somebody's playing shit, I'll call it out. Unfortunately, pal, Delow has been predominantly shit all season. I don't think he was that good last season either. I mean, you know why Delow's getting worse? Because Fletcher's banned long throw-ins. So if he can't make long throw-ins, he loses half of his game, doesn't he? That's a lovely ball into Sesko. Unlucky. Unlucky. If he'd caught that right, it would have been a great goal. That's better. Defenders that can't defend. Look at who it is as well, Martinez. Look, Martinez, what a ball. What a ball by Martinez that is. Hard finish by Sesko, but right, good attempt. Yeah, he's ankled it instead of booted it. Lovely ball by Martinez. And again. Such a cultured left foot. Bruno. Happy New Year. I haven't noticed Mason Mount. Has anyone else noticed Mason Mount, or is it just me? The entire squad from back to front is shit, says Default. Happy New Year. All the best to you and your family, and you're absolutely right. Zelo is shit, says Krish. Glinios decisions looking worse and worse every day, says Mario. Can you shoot, mate? Oh, over the bar. We have to stop 3 at the back. The players don't know where to stand. They play perfect in a classic 4 at the back, says Arm. We are playing 4 at the back, you prat. Where have you been? Amrim got sacked on Monday, pal. We're not playing 3 at the back. It's a back 4. Bloody hell. We're always so nervous playing at home, says Aditya. Mate, we've just bloody drawn 2-2 to Burnley. We're not much better away. Defenders that can't defend, as per usual, says it's MVP. I don't know what it is about United, and it transcends every coach, but we always hit long diagonals, no matter who the coach is or what their philosophy is, and we never mark people in the box. Cutbacks, runners, we just don't mark up well in the box, and you can't teach it. I know Fletcher's talking about DNA, Amrim spoke about hard work, Ten Hag spoke about hard work, Ollie spoke about hard work at the end. You know, this is what people need to understand. The manager is irrelevant. Oh, is it Ollie? Is it Fletch? Is it Carrick? They'll say the right things and the players won't deliver. I just can't believe we're still thinking, oh, I want Tuchel. Oh, let's milk that cow. I want Ancelotti. Oh, I want Conte. Oh, let's milk it. Yeah, it don't matter. They'll come in, they'll say the right things, but if they haven't got the players to do it, it won't matter. You know, I could take the job. I want to play 4-3-3. I want every pass to try and be a forward pass. I want us to be confident on the ball. I want us to work hard without it, you know. Everybody's got a bloody idea. If the players won't do it, whose fault's that? Oh, can I have some new players? No. Have I got to use the old ones? Yeah. Well, I get the sack and the blame for it. You know this club. Yeah. Delo is as useful as a chocolate teapot. Speaking of chocolate, which would you shove up your arse? Well, I have got. It's got nothing to do with your comment, but look at that. Is that not the goated chocolate bar? And if you wanted to do it, apart from length, that'll excite him. The only hole I want to stick that in is in my mouth. Galaxy Ripple for the win. Are you sure Alex is loving his boy Danny Balling? Says Rajaf. It looked like that was Mount's fault for letting his runner go, says Risa. I'd have to watch it again. Yeah, I'd have to watch that again. Where's Delo? Why is Delo in the fucking midfield? Does he realise the chaos he causes in this team? I mean, look at him. He's playing fucking holding midfielder now. Just fuck off to right back. Learn to be a bloody right back. It's like a virgin saying to his first conquest, let's do the cowgirl. And she's like, hold on a minute, mate. How's about you get your pants off first and figure out the missionary? He thinks he's him, doesn't he? Delo thinks he's him. He's absolutely bloody everywhere, but doing his actual job. I'll have to look at that, Risa. Sergio wants Delo out. Delo got to go, says Dimitri. You can't polish a turd, says Chin. Look, I think Fletcher talks a good game. Rangnick spoke a good game. Ollie spoke a good game. Ten Hag spoke a good game. Amrim spoke a good game. But their biggest issue is a board that doesn't really back them and players that aren't really good enough. I mean, I'll guarantee you Darren Fletcher has said all the right things. I guarantee you Darren Fletcher's said all the right things to the players. Go out there, work hard. You know, let's try and play quick attacking football. Mainoo, that's a good cross. But if they don't go and do it, you sort of sat there on the side going, what am I supposed to do? You know? And here I am thinking it was the system, says Wesley. Even the Portuguese commentators are going in on Delo. Well, you've got to have someone better than Delo, surely, Paul. Brighton with all those changes too, it can't go on like this. Had enough of watching Delo stink up the pitch, says Notorious. Lots of people going in on Delo. Let's talk about something else. I mean, I would like to see that goal again, just because obviously I know it comes down the left hand, the Delo side, but you know we can't blame Bruno. Bruno's the number 10. Shout out to my son Roman. He's only 6, and I'm hoping he'll see United have much better days when we've seen over the last decade. There's no guarantee, VX, but let's hope so. Watching United game is like being on drugs, says Will. Well, I can't speak from experience, so I don't know. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Cyber Spider says, this is why I want Southgate. Only way you can change the cycle is either a great manager or a bad one. Which one is more likely? Southgate might wake up the fan base, says Cyber Spider. Mate, that's got to be the worst comment. You've been doing comments for years. That's got to be your worst ever. You're falling off, pal. If we lose this, it will confirm that we'll go trophyless with within the first days of the year, says Debug. Quit hating on players. Let's see you do better, says David. Yeah, that's how being a fan works. Because we're all... oh, what a shot. Not by us. Veltman. Honestly think Chloe Kelly would be an upgrade on Delo, says Crit. Can't be asked anymore. Same bullshit. Need players, says Eddie. Mate, there's a long way to go, Eddie. There's a long way to go. If we lose this, it will confirm that we've done that one from Debug. Delo is the worst right back in United Club's history, says Chickens. Cludge, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Nice little ball. I think Sesko's miles offside, though. I just wanted to have a quick look at the stats, actually. I mean, Mainoo's role at the moment is pretty ineffectual, I would say. He's just dropping in between the two centre-backs and knocking it side to side. I would imagine our stats, possession-wise, are quite good. Just waiting to get it up on the screen. Yeah, 61%, but it doesn't feel like 61%, does it? Because I think we're having a lot of, I was saying this the other day, Solskjaer's stats, possession-wise, were about 55%, whereas Amrim's were 50%. And I think some people felt that that was because of Solskjaer being, better as a, creative side. But we did a lot of side-to-side passing at the back. Poor corner, no one on the goalkeeper at all. Well done, Agate. Have you noticed that Brighton are set up to make Delo get the ball when we play out from the back? They know what they're doing, says Ethan. Can you remember when we used to play Delo left back and he'd always be on the left wing and no one would mark him? There's a reason for that. If Yamal was playing on the left wing, you wouldn't leave him in acres of space. But teams do leave Delo. He's done well there. Nice ball into Cunha. Go on, mate. Attack the byline and put the cross in. Lovely. Well done. Corner. That's good by Cunha. That's good by Cunha. I mean, one of my first observations about Cunha is, though, that when he played at Wolves, he's the main guy. And Delo did well there, actually, to be fair. In this team, it's hard to see how we're going to consistently get the best out of Cunha when he's operating in the same positions as Mbeumo, Bruno, Mount, Ahmad. Wilcox genius attacking-minded football on display, says Edmund. Evan, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much. Well, I think that, look, if we come back and win this game, Fletcher's a back four coach. So, well done. But can you imagine Amrim when Wilcox is saying, let's go to a back four, and it's not his system and he doesn't want to play it? You just wouldn't do it, would you? If you're Ruben Amrim and your director of football is saying, I'm not buying you any players and I want you to play a back four. I mean, we're playing a back four now. It's not the golden ticket, is it? So you'd say, well, I'm not a back four manager. I'm a 3-4-3 manager, which is what you brought me in for. Give me some players. No, play a back four. I'm not playing a bloody back four. It's not the golden ticket you think it is. Get a back four coach. Evan, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you. Appreciate it. Some good comments coming in. Well, Pelt in the live chat says, what does Mainoo do when he plays for all this media outcry? He makes 5 to 10 yard sideways passes and literally has no vision. Give me one example otherwise. Look, he's struggling because Brighton are a very progressive, aggressive pressing side. So you can't... I mean, look, this is why I'd like to see Michael Carrick coming into the club, because he knows how to play that role. I mean, Mainoo's given it up now. Agate's gone into that role. Now he's coming back into it. That's where he needs it. No, he's got to get rid of that pass quicker. That's better. Into Agate. Give it him back. Oh, we're going to go down the left. It's a nice ball again. Oh, Sesko, he nearly got a penalty there. Go on. Get in the box now. Good run by Mainoo. Go on, Martinez, shoot. Oh, good block. Nice to see Martinez aggressively pushing forward as well. Should have kept Wan-Bissaka. At least he can defend. All Delo is good at throw-ins. Might be the worst right back in a United shirt, says Anakin. A couple of years ago, I liked Delo, though. I'm not going to lie. Oh, Delo again, trying to take people on. Just pass. You ain't him. Brighton on the attack here. Remember, Brighton very nearly went 2-0 up. Bit of a mistake by Le Mans, and did well to recover the pass. Oh, God, that cross looked good. Mark, I'm not pro-Ollie, but I'm curious. Is there anything you can do to change your opinion, says Brandon? Well, look, if he gets the job, I'll give him a chance, but I think it's embarrassing. Happy that Neville is not on commentary tonight, says Love Hate Games. Well, it's on TNT, isn't it? One centre midfield is dropping between the centre-backs and allowing Delo to go on walkabout. It's very annoying, says 1 Inch Wonder. Island Boy says, I've just got here. Hope you're well. Just wrap the scarf around my head and ready to turn this round. Let's go United. Sesko's looking more confident, says Dakota. There was just a fight outside the Stretford end, says says Willu. I hate this shit, but at least Ineos will be gone, says Rajaf. Mate, there's a long time to go, and we really have to win this game. There's a long way to go. Still only had half an hour. If the owners were honest and said we will eat garbage for 3 years until a new stadium, that's better than we'll win the league in 3 years and lying about everything. They're toxic, says I am Joseph. Have you noticed that Brighton... I've done that one from Ethan Campbell. Thanks for the super chats. All caught up there. Why are Scholes and Nicky Butt sat with Sir Alex? I think they said something about struggling to get tickets. So I imagine Sir Alex says, I'll sort you out. That was mine. I should have said it publicly at the time. I remember them saying that they were struggling to get tickets. So maybe Sir Alex has just said, here, I'll get you in. Well done, Mainoo. Better. I still think Dorgu's arguably the best player on the pitch for Man United so far. Seamus says, what were you buying in Asda yesterday? My gran said she saw you. Love the, says Seamus. Yeah, I've not been in an Asda in about 20 years, mate. So, what's Bruno done, says 1 Inch Wonder. Forget Mainoo. Mixed Music says, have you heard about us being linked to the Stuttgart coach? If yes, then what are your thoughts? I mean, Stuttgart have been very good this season. Very, very good. But I don't think we'll do that. I don't think we'll go for another foreign manager. I think they're going to look at Amorim and Ten Hag, and they'll go with experience, which Premier League experience, which, you know, I thought Delay was going to shoot then. I was like, please don't. Mason Mount. Let's win the second ball. Delo. Well in Martinez. They've got an overlap. Kadioglu. We looked at Kadioglu, didn't we? Brighton are just very good, aren't they? Martinez, get rid of it. Everyone, thank you very much. 1 Inch Wonder. Why are certain tactics like throw-ins and the occasional route one over the top for a winger to chase seen by some managers simply a no-go when it creates other clubs' chances and goals, says Dolphin? I think you're trying to say, why do we do it all the bloody time? I mean, I think Brighton have played very well considering, you know, we're definitely the better 11. You know, they've made changes to their goalkeeper, their centre-backs. Matoma's on the bench. That's a lovely ball into Kadioglu. Well done, Agate. Too easy. They're getting in down the right-hand side. Too easy. Mount and Delo have been awful. Really easy for them to get in down that side. You lucky Matoma is at the AFCON, says Jack. I mean, I got mixed up. Balaba's at the AFCON, Minte is injured, and Matoma's on the bench. Could Ferguson have stopped the Glazers getting the club in the first place? Says Sir Galahad. Yeah. Your clock is out of sync. Got to sync it to you, but your commentary's way out. Well, I don't know why it keeps doing this. Yeah, I think it had delayed a little bit. I'm right now. I lost 5 seconds for some reason. I am right now. So Yoro's just bringing it out of the back. 32-30, 32-30. I think it had, you know, like when it, I think there'd been some interference or something, and it had lost a few seconds. My time on the clock is what I'm watching now, but for some reason, it had lost 5 seconds before, but it's right now. Just had to turn it on and off. Dorgu into Martinez. Lovely play. Martinez is playing really well as well. Watching Delo makes me ill, says Hennis. And our default setting is low work ethic. Few players who work hard. It's a standard set from the owners. Proof in Newcastle is relegation battles to Europe contention in one season with Saudi owners, new owners. Thank you very much to MR. Would you take Frank at United, says Evan? No. Why would you do that? Here's Cunha. Into Delo. Give it back to Cunha. He's better than you. Bruno gets the shot off. Salmon just became Arsenal's youngest player in the FA Cup. Shame we can't do that with Gabriel. Will this strengthen his chance of leaving, says Rajaf. I don't know. I mean, look, there's going to be a lot of competition for him when he's 16. Bruno into Sesko. That's the ball. Oh, it was the right pass. Bruno, it was the right pass. In Sweden, doctors are told to ask patients if they support United. If they do, I'll put in a coma until the Glazers are gone, said Patrick. Thank you very much to Johnny about the clock. Fans have got to accept this season is over. No midfield signings, no European competition. Giles Juicy says, Delo makes me want to gouge my eyes out. I think your clock might be off, says James. Don't you think Keno should have also mentioned ex-players hanging around like a bad smell? They're just as bad, if not worse, as XV. And why certain tactics like throw-ins and the occasional route one over the top for a winger to chase? I've done that one, haven't I, by Dolphin Dive. Honest opinion on Milner. Definitely a Premier League GOAT, says Steve. Well, Brighton are on the attack here. Dink to the back post. Delo gets it out for a... No, it's not gone out. Honestly, if Wilcox wants to take on the responsibilities of a United manager, let's also bloody hold him accountable like a true United manager, says Rohan. Hi, Mark. What? I've done that one. Thank you. I don't know what Delo's Dorgu's done there, but he's lost the ball on the far side. They should have given a free kick there. We got away with that. What happened to that Brighton player, Solly Marsh? Has he just been injured? Remember? Didn't we played Brighton in the cup at Wembley, didn't we? Semi-final. He was really good that season, and I've just not seen him since. Mainoo the lazy ghost. Agate a terrorist, says Zach. I need half time to sit down. I don't think I'll be standing up again. I mean, to be honest, if this wasn't a 45 minutes in why we need a midfielder, then nothing else is. Bruno. I did like Dillo a few years ago. Now he looks average at best. We need to win this match, not lose, says GD7. Barry says, your dodgy box must have buffered and put the clock off, says Barry. I'm on a Sky Q Mini, and it does it quite a lot. It wasn't working before. It's probably the weather. This all boils down to these players aren't good enough. The blame will be pointed at the manager over and over. Bottom line, these players are crap, says Dakota. No. I think you're wrong, actually. The manager will be blamed, and then the players will be blamed. But how many of these players have sacked multiple managers? How many of these players are young players that need to be developed? This is not on the playing squad. It is not on the manager. It's on those at the top who couldn't strategically wipe their own arse. You can't just put young players in and say they're going to be generational without nurturing them. You know, you can't keep relying on senior players that have sacked multiple managers. It comes from the top. Yes, the players aren't good enough, but we know they're not good enough. So why do we keep moaning at them? I mean, even on Delot, why are we moaning at Delot? I mean, he's still here. That's the problem. He's still a player that managers have to pick. I mean, I'm sure Darren Fletcher isn't stupid. He probably doesn't want to pick Delot, but there's no one. There's no one else. Having a laugh says, what's the loving with Delot now he's gone? We have to do better. I don't think there's anyone else, mate. Have we got another right back at the moment? Mazraoui's not here. What genre do you watch after wiping front to back? Okay. Mount dropping to right back as if Delot is some crazy attacking threat. Completely stupid and brainless football, says 1-inch wonder. Bosnich called out owners. No other ex-player has, says Gray. Whoa, done that one from Evan Whelan as well. Thank you very much. Thanks for your super chats. You can do that through the $sign. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. Player ratings at the end. I mean, look, for me, Bright Sparks Limited sounds like a good name for an electrician. It's probably already been taken. Bright Sparks for me were Adorgu and Martinez. I mean, I think Mount's been a waste of space. Delot's been a waste of space. Another cross into the box. Fucking worries me every time. They're in the box again here, Brighton. Welbeck again. Side netting. Fucking hell. Bruno, I don't think's fit. I didn't think Bruno was fit against Burnley, and I don't think he's fit today. I'd be very surprised if Bruno's actually back from a hamstring injury. I mean, it's incredible that he had a tear and was back in 2 weeks. So I don't think Bruno's actually fully fit. Mason Mount's never fully fit. Sesko's living on fucking fumes. Mainoo looks confused. Probably just surprised to be starting. This should be a good ball from Bruno into Sesko. If he holds it up and gives it to Cunha, he's got an overlap. Goes the wrong way. Oh no, we've won a free kick. Got the ball. And then pulled his shirt. Rob, I did try it sitting down. It was very good. It was a real eye-opener. Players need coaching, but you cannot keep using the same players. The owners and people in charge of the football need to take responsibility. I tell you what, this is a good free kick proposition. Right on 5 minutes to go to half time. Good chance for Bruno. Peter, I'm not reading any more of your dirty super chats. It's a football channel. Makes me sick knowing Ollie might come in as interim, says Steve. If the interim has to be an ex-player, what's Steve Bruce doing? These owners have been catastrophic, says Stephen. What's your thoughts on Sweden, says Asab. I've never been, but I would like to go. I'd love to go to, I nearly said Copenhagen. No. I'd like to go to Malmo. Hell Badger says Delot is about as popular as a piss-flavoured lollipop. Some people probably kinkily do like that. Agate's running out of excuses. Same for Mainoo, says Josh. Right, we need this free kick to go in. Top corner, Bruno. No, he's gone low. If it goes in, it's genius. But why does this goalkeeper look like Cole Palmer? No, it's rubbish, that free kick. He should have done the obvious. He tried to be clever when he should have been just do the normal one. Ian says, I'm from the USA, love the content, always look forward to the watch-alongs every weekend, makes getting up stupid o'clock worth it. Well, big shout out to worldwide fans. I mean, I'd like to say that, you know, this is as worst as it's been getting up early in the morning, but you did get up for a lot of Ollie games and Ten Hag and Van Gaal. You know, I never cease to be impressed by our worldwide support, getting up at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning to watch United. But a disappointing first half. I mean, I think anybody who says it's the system, you know, needs to sit down. It's not the system. It's not the formation. You need the players. You need the players to play 3-4-3. We didn't have them. You need the players to play this 4-3-3. We don't have them. Formation is not the problem. It's the ability to play those formations. Formation is a preference. I prefer the back four. I prefer the back four. I'm an advocate of Man United playing a back four. But if it was as simple as going to a back four, it would have worked. Martinez has just took a bad tackle here. Oh, no, not on his foot. You don't want it on his foot. He's all right. He's up. He's up. He's up. Garfield has a prolapse disc and used medicine ball. I'm going to get some proper help. Goldbridge says, the lack of width is annoying. Every time we get into the final third, Cunha, Bruno and Mount are stumbling over each other. I mean, it's a very good observation, Goldbridge. We don't have any real width. Probably Dorgu is the only real one. Good cross again. Wins a corner. What do you think about the Martinelli push, says Enza? I mean, it was idiotic. He scored a bloody hat-trick today, though, hasn't he? Prab says, do you think the season's over if we go out? No. How can the season be over when we need European football? Bruno's gone quick here. Dorgu. Oh. Delo's going to do a long throw. Here we go. He's running forward. What, he's going to do a long throw in here, Delo. Watch. Don't let him do it, Fletch. Ban him from it. No, he didn't do it. I think Fletcher has banned long throw-ins, and I tell you what, give him the job. I'm all for that. Ineos failing to replicate the Chelsea youngsters model, just like they failed to replicate the Land Rover with their Ineos Jeep. That Ineos Jeep's shit, isn't it? Does anybody actually own the Ineos Jeep? It's crap. Oh, Delo's in again. Surely this time. Oh, get out. What the hell was that fucking idiot doing there? What the hell was that? I'm not going to comment on Delo now. It just feels like it's unfair. I'm leaving it. I'm going to leave it. Basically, he got through one-on-one again, got caught by the Brighton defender and tried to flick it back to them with a back heel, and it didn't work, basically. Lovely ball by Bruno. Mount needs to be careful. He's stretching for balls a lot. What's going on with Delit, Mac? I don't know. I said this myself. I don't know what's going on with Delit. I genuinely do not know what is going on with Delit. It's not Viagra. Someone just saw me take something blue. It's not Viagra. I do not need that. It's actually an antibiotic. Flucloxacillin. For that thing on my neck. Can't get rid of it. So I went to the doctors and they've put me on antibiotics. I hate going on antibiotics. Cunha. I tell you what, we need some antibiotics here. Cunha. Oh, I thought he'd scored. Unlucky Cunha. That's where I like Cunha, getting him the ball early. just dragged it wide. Keeper's probably got it covered. Love you guys. Love Man United. Big respect to you all from Turkey, says Umu. If you can find a striker like Osman, you'll be more than fine. Look, I'd love. Is it your morning after pill, says DT. I would love to have Osman at Man United, but I don't actually think it solves the problem. Half time. Half time. What are your thoughts on that half? I'm losing you. Oh, that feels good actually. Bit of a back stretch. Well, at this rate, I don't think Fletcher's getting the job. But I mean, look, my thoughts are this. Oh God, I broke it. My thoughts are this. Brighton, it's not even their best team. We've gone strong with a back four, and I think at the moment the only real winner is Ruben Amorim. He's probably not sat there, to be honest, watching it. But Ruben Amorim, if you're Ruben Amorim at the moment, or you're an Amorimer, you'd be going, well, I told you so. The formation change wasn't going to be the golden ticket everyone thought it was going to be. Mainoo was not going to be the golden ticket everyone thought it was going to be. And the main problem at Man United is the midfield. And look, we've had no control of that game at any point. I think Martinez has played well. I think Dorgu has played well. I think Sesko has been, bereft of, quality balls into him. Obviously, Delo's not played well. Mount's not played well. Bruno's been a bit quiet. Cunha's been lively. But the midfield of Agate and Mainoo is the, I know a lot of people are going to talk about Delo. I'm in absolute agony. I can't speak about what pain I'm in. Oh, what have I done to my back? It's absolutely killing me on the wrong side. It's normally the left side. I've done it on the right side now. Anyway, back to this. Don't say that. I completely agree that Delo has been a problem and Mason Mount hasn't been very good. But I've got to say, in my opinion, the hot take is the midfield. Like, Delo is shit. But the midfield, that's where games are won and lost. And yet again, it's rubbish. Rubbish. I mean, what's Agate done? What's Mainoo done? Like, at the start of the season, this was the midfield two I wanted to see. But, of course, what I will say is, as I said after Grimsby, it's not, it's one game. Maybe they need lots of games, but that's not Brighton's best midfield either. It's not Brighton's best defence. We're at Old Trafford. Like, the manager's just been sacked. I really would have expected a little bit more from Cobby than that. And Agate, actually, let's split it. In fairness to Delo, he was playing under Amorim. He might be a bit annoyed, whatever. But Mainoo and Agate were basically shunned by Amorim. They weren't used by him, were they? So, I had a cup of tea as well. Double. Oh, God. Anyway, my point is, like, Agate and Mainoo were snubbed by Amorim. Not good enough, didn't use them, etc., etc. And, they get their chance and they put in 45 minutes like that. And, it's disappointing because I think that I've played the game. I'm sure many of you have played the game. Maybe not even football. When you're not given the opportunity and you feel that you should be given the opportunity, and then you're given the opportunity, and it's not just I'm a good player, I'm also motivated because I've got a chance to prove everybody wrong. If that's proving everybody wrong, we're in bloody big trouble. Now, they need to come out in the second half, Mainoo and Agate, and do better. If I'm Darren Fletcher, I'm actually saying to both of them, look, I've given you a start in an FA Cup game we need to win. The previous manager didn't think you were very good. I do. And that performance there is not doing anything for me. You need to do better than that. That is not, I'm not saying it's terrible, but it's not to the level it needs to be. Would you rather have Ten Hag's head or Kane's lisp, says Harvey. Calling someone with an intellectual disability Delo would be an insult, says Joe. Mainoo has been our best player, so I don't know what game you were watching, says Jason. Well, you know what, Jason? It's great that we can have these conversations, but I'm telling you now, I've watched football for a very long time, and at no point do I think Mainoo was our best player on the pitch. So, did I say it was terrible? No. Did I say it could be better? Yes. This is a player like Agate who has been basically ridiculed by the previous manager, and that 45 minutes is not to the level it needs to be at. It was okay, but it wasn't good. And if you're telling me he's the best player on the pitch, I don't know what game you're watching, mate. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing the goal again because I don't know who's at fault in the box. So we'll wait and see. Mark, I take some time off to take care of strengthening your back. Don't worry, United will be right where you left it, it says Risa. According to FOTMob, that Mainoo has created more chances from open play in the first 30 minutes than any other player this season so far, supposedly, says Dino. Mate, I can't think of one chance he's created. What's going on? I don't think Mainoo has been any worse than Cunha. He's building match sharpness, says I am. Which manager will we go for in the summer, says Liam. All the last three halves did is prove Amrim right, says Rajaf. We're so narrow playing 3-10s, none of whom are coming deep, so relying on long balls in behind, defensive shape, well, what shape? Swiss cheese, says Haid. Chris says Mainoo's been good, but Delo... Mate, right, okay, right. Let's just recap here, because some people aren't listening, right? We're losing 1-0 to Brighton. That's not a good half from Man United, and for some reason, people are happy with Mainoo's performance. We're losing 1-0 to Brighton. They've been better than us, but apparently Mainoo's having a good game. Where's your fucking standards? And did I say he was shit? No, I said he'd done okay, but I expect better than okay from him and Agate when this is your glow-up game. So, okay needs to be better. Not shit, but we're also losing to Brighton. So, you know what? I do sometimes question, who do you support? Manchester United or being right? I couldn't give a fuck about whether he's created loads of chances on FOTMob. I'm watching the goal back here. I mean, I just don't know who's marking who here. They're queuing up. Look at the Brighton players here, right? So Mount loses his man. Mount loses his man. Agate's in there. I just don't know. I don't know what. I can't even tell you who's to blame on the cross here. I can't even tell you. I'd say Mason Mount is the problem there on the overlap. Mark, has the first half brightened up your day, says King. Agreed, we need better players, but when we last played them with Amrim, we were winning by 2 goals with the same squad at half-time, says Lupus. We shouldn't be losing to Brighton at Old Trafford. They're crap away from home. We need to win this game. Paul says, do we have to consider Mainoo is rusty? Yes, I said that. I said, look, at the end of the day, a lot of people had a pop against Mainoo and Agate after Grimsby. And I did say, look, they need a run of games. They do need a run of games. Having said that, I'd still expect a little bit more when it's your opportunity. Hi, Mark. This team reeks of Wilcox. I guess he's player manager now. His biggest wish come true. Disappointing, says Lee. Robbo says Sciatic Bridge. Mainoo's been our best player. I don't know what game you're watching, says Jason. Mate, look, I'm not doing this, right? The problem with Man United is the ownership and Jason Wilcox. I am not being distracted by some weird Player FC argument about Mainoo. If you want to give him 8 player ratings at the end of the game, I would give him a 6. And I'm comfortable with that. I think it was an average performance from Mainoo in a team that's been really poor in that half. And I tell you what, if it was an 8, we'd be winning. If our number 6 had been an 8 out of 10, we'd be winning that game. That's an average performance from Mainoo and Agate in a game where we need something better. Because yet again, our midfield isn't good enough. And yet again, we're losing a game of football. And it's not all because Delo's shit. Like, that's average. And to be fair, some people think average is good because we're so used to shit. Backward passing and poor shot accuracy. It's been miserable, says Jonathan. Have you tried heat patches, says Philip. I'd bloody love one now. The dude says, why are you always looking at the bad side? Oh, it's getting to a point where I think we need to just start blocking people. I really do. I just think we get infiltrated by trolls. I mean, can I just tell me that, mate? What does that say? Manchester United at home against Brighton reserves. What's the score? What's the score? You have a PSOAS major injury. Do sit-ups 3 times 10, says Benjamin. The players aren't good enough, says Anthony. Doesn't matter who the manager is. And Aldo says, why is Delo going central when we attack? He's useless at finishing. He should be out wide. Look, Aldo, this used to happen when Delo played on the left. No one marks him because he's crap. So he always gets left. So the mistake Fletcher's making is telling Delo to make those runs and trying to get the ball to him. The reason no one tracks him is because he's crap. And it used to happen with him on the left wing. Nobody bothers marking him because he's crap. So that's why Delo gets so much space, because nobody respects him. They just go, let him go. He'll mess it up himself. I think you should see a doctor, says James. Yeah. Mason Mount's the most bang average we've had, says Marble. Well, look, I think Mason Mount, I'd give Mainoo and Agate 6. I think Mason Mount's a 5. I think he's been very, very poor. And I'm not convinced. I mean, I don't know what I'd say about Bruno. But I think Bruno is probably not fit, if we're being completely honest. Sacking Amrim has just written off any chances of Europe next season, says Evan. And slip disc bridge, says Sorek. Oh, I hope not. We won't be winning this in 90 minutes. We're crap, says James. But Amrim system, says Joshua. Serious talk, says Bruno's not the problem. His status in the team is he's terrible at corners and he is not the best in the team at free kicks. I can't believe how bad we are at finishing, and Delo is sabotage. Both offensively and defensively, we'd be better with 10 men, says Marlowe. And I hope you're well. Can you please wish my mate Joe a happy birthday, Joe Robertson, and call him a turbo prat. Mate of mine for 20 years and a long-suffering red, says Ben O'Connor. Well, happy birthday to Joe. Let's hope we can turn it around in the second half. I certainly wouldn't make any changes at half-time. I don't know about you. I mean, I don't think... We haven't got a right back. So, I mean, I'm not changing Mainoo. I'm not changing Agate. I'm not changing Bruno. I would change Mount, but maybe Mount for Lacey, actually. That's a good call. A few people in the chat are saying that. SRT, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much. Midfield and the right side of the problem, says Emily. Could bring Lacey for Mount, but right back, no idea. Yeah. I think I agree with you there. I think it's that's the area that you'd look to improve. I think Lacey in a game like this might not be a bad idea. There's a lot of space. Get him the ball. Let him just. Yeah, I think I'm not massive on chucking a young player on, because we shouldn't be relying on kids. But actually, I think in a game like this at Old Trafford, it'd get the crowd up. There's a lot of space. Just tell him to go out there and express himself. It might, we need a momentum change. And I think if the crowd get up for it, the players might feed off that. Bath says, we need midfielder. However, always falling away in the right back position. An experienced striker would have been the better choice as well, says Bath 25. Ahmad should play right back. He can hold his own, says David. Yeah, hopefully he will when he comes back. Does the board not see what is going on? We need midfielders at the very least right now. Glazers and Ineos out there are clueless. Ollie's not the answer. Qatar, please come and buy our club. Get the vultures out, says Christine. Yeah, I mean, I tweeted that. I think I said it on the stream as well. I think if that 45 minutes wasn't an advert for we need midfielders, then nothing ever will be. As I said, I don't think Mainoo and Agate were terrible. And you could definitely make the case that they're not match fit because they haven't played much football. But even match fit, are they really at the level we need? I don't know. But we need to buy midfielders. And how we can be sat there interviewing interims for a week when we're watching games like Burnley and today where the midfield is dead, and you're going, let's get another manager in who can talk about DNA and then not do anything. Like, we should be in the market. We should be in the market. I honestly didn't know what Agate was on the field. It was like McFred. He went missing, says Chris. Not getting political, but with recent events, has it got you on the fence for going to the US for the World Cup? Or you know anyone who's changed their mind completely, says Robbo. Not giving it any thought at all, mate. I don't even know if I'm going, and I've not heard anybody talk to me about it as well, is the honest answer. Delo and Mount are not good enough, says Biggest Ball Knowledge. Mainoo needs time to himself again. Sesko should do better on these passes, and the passing back is so shit, says CHG. Well, one thing we could do is we could move Mainoo from the 6 into the 8, take Agate off and bring Casemiro on. Yeah, we could do that. What is Delo doing? He should be doing better, says Bente. Well, look, fair play to Brighton. They're 1-0 up. But if we're being completely honest, we should have been 1-0 up. It was, Delo should have scored. Raul says United was knocked out from the third round only 2 times in the last 40 years. This might be the third time. I still think we win. We just got to sort ourselves out. Loft says that people are saying Mainoo's playing well because he showed a bit of work rate after his own mistake. Good work rate doesn't fix poor play, unfortunately. Mark, love tuning in from Australia. You always make the pain of watching United a bit more bearable. What midfielders can help this United team, says Alessandro. Mate, you could write a bloody book on midfielders that can improve Man United at this stage. I genuinely think Conor Gallagher would improve us. I think James Garner would improve us. I mean, these are not, star-studded midfielders, but I actually think Palhinha at Spurs would improve us. I don't think the bar is that high to improve this midfield. I really don't. I'd take Darren Gibson and Tom Gleverley over Mainoo and Agate. They're garbage, says Philip. Same energy for Ghost Captain Bruno, please. I don't think Bruno's fit, 1 inch wonder. I agree with you, he's not had a good half, but I don't think he's fit. Absolute snorefest. If our ownership think an ex-player will steady the ship until the summer, be prepared for more of this guy's slow, steady and boring, says Harv. Dazza, welcome to the Members Club, and Danu as well. It's unfortunate that we're now praising average players' performances. I'm happy we will have Ahmad and Mbumo back. Get the suits out, says Kay. Defence and attack look sloppy, no control, says Nick. In this formation, we're not winning any second balls. I feel there's no aggression in formation. There's a lot of space in the midfield, says VJ. Look, it's a shame, really, because that is a great point, and I wouldn't have said it. And you make a very, very good point, but it is a shame. I think that, Darren Fletcher's trying to get the crowd up, but, I don't think Fletcher's a manager, is he? That was like a really crap entrance. It's like an Ollie Murs concert. But I think that one thing that Amrim really did work on was the attack side of things, and we did create a lot of chances under Amrim. But also our aggression on the second ball was a lot better. And, I'd hate to see us lose that. I'd hate to see us lose that because it was very important. Remember coming home at 5 a.m, getting 2 hours sleep on the bathroom floor and going to work perfectly fine. Now in my 30s, my back is out for a week if my head is facing the wrong way on the pillow. Thanks, Slazy. It really does hurt. I think I might have to stand up again. Delo is so bad, he'll single-handedly make us lose the game, says Elias. And saw a crazy stat that says Delo has now sacked 8 managers since 2018 and has been out for 35% of his career. But you glaze him, says Default. Well, he hasn't sacked them, has he? What's the lit got to do with Jason Wilcox saying you're not having any players and you need to go to a back four? These players haven't sacked Amrim. I will argue this with anybody. These players have not sacked Amrim. The club have sacked Amrim. The fact that they keep starting Martinez is sad, says Fabian. My mental health can't take it anymore, says Alex. I mean, that's good by Mainoo, and he's won a yellow card as well as a free kick. Why is Delo playing in front of Mount, says Callum. Neo says Mainoo enthusiasts when they realise midfielders have to track back as well. We need Lacey Mark. We need a runner, says Alfie. Well, let's see what happens here with Bruno's free kick. I wish Mount was getting into positions Delo has popped up. He's got quality, but does he have the legs, says Eus. Midfield still crap, says United sat. All the last 3 halves did is prove Amrin right, says Rajaf. And that's a crap free kick from Bruno. Doug says, I'm currently putting together a bookshelf with dodgy instructions and it's still less frustrating than watching Delo. Fletcher said, fast attacking football, says Syndicade. Finishing's been awful, midfield wide open, incorrectly calling Sesko offside when he's one-on-one with the keeper is shocking as well. Big second half, says Greg. Well, we are attacking the Stretford end, so hopefully that's a good sign. Connor says, take a shot every time someone says Delo is shit. You'll be drunk very quick. Szoboszlai was fantastic at right back. What can you lose trying someone else if Delo is your only guy in that position, says Oscar. Well, this is a better start by United. Oh, I'm going to have to stand up. This is not good. Ollie was sacked by us and Besiktas and won nothing, yet we want him back, says Cade. Cunha, corner. Xavi won a title with Barcelona in chaos, can handle club politics and pressure, improve players and bring real progress. At least Mazraoui will be back for right back, says Darren. You said you think we'd win against Leeds and Burnley. No, I didn't, Alm, because I don't do predictions, so you're wrong there. Feels increasingly like the board is more interested in signings than sell jerseys and not improve the football. Reasonably priced solutions on the market, says Ryan. Wolfie says, I think Mainoo's doing a decent job, creates opportunities, moving the ball to the wing. Headed away. Just call Keane, says G15. MA says Mainoo's been ineffective, non-existent in the build-up, which is why we created only over the top and bypassed easily in defence. Player FC and pull force. Look, I'm not getting involved in the Mainoo conversation. We're all entitled to our opinions. I think he's done okay. I would like to see him doing better. You can definitely use the sharpness argument. How would you sort out the defence, Mark, says Constantine? I don't think there's a problem with the defence. Oh, there we go. Bruno. Stop passing to Delo, he's shit. Yeah, just stop passing to Delo. He's so rubbish. Something legit says, try stretching your POSOAS muscle. YouTube won't let me write it properly. There are many tutorials on YouTube could fix your pain. I wish I knew what muscle that was and what stretch to do. What pipe of the Man United hierarchy smoking, says Shallow. Sitting is the worst thing you can do for your back pain. Movement, ice and cobra stretch. Also hip flexors and hip band glutes mainly, says Josh. It's definitely better standing up. Unless you're wiping your ass, Josh. Mark, try the cat and cow stretches for your back. Works wonders for me. Look for it on YouTube. A rugby physio told me to try and do it. Says Michelle. Thank you, mate. I was wrong begging for Agate when we got him. Says Son of United. Johnny Evans is just speaking to Casemiro, so I think he might be coming on. Make sure you subscribe, everybody, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. Oh, no. Brighton are in. Good tackle, whoever did that. Was that Dorgu again? Got to be careful on the break, haven't we? We defended that quite well, actually. I thought we were going to be in bigger trouble. Oh, Delo with another shit pass. He's having such a bad game, isn't he? Well done, Martinez. I think Dorgu's been our best player. I know that's not popular because people don't like him, but... Mount off, Lacey on. A lot of people saying that. I think we just had a super chat to that effect as well. Another chance for Bruno to whip a cross in. His set pieces haven't been as good as they can be tonight. Remember, this could go to extra time and penalties. See what happens with this. Oh, I feel a lot better standing up. Bruno. Oh, flicked up. Corner, goal kick. Why don't all ex-Man United become backroom staff to rebuild the club and Ollie as manager, says Cottles. I love Dorgu. He's the next Gareth Bale, says Alm. What's your assessment of Mainoo so far in the midfield, says Alec. Look, the midfield at Man United's the problem, and today's no different. But I think Bruno's been below par. I think Agate's been below par, and I think Mainoo's done okay. But I would still expect more. You know, I would expect more against, I think it's Brighton's reserve midfield as well, because Ayari's not playing, and obviously neither's Belabor. Mount off, Lacey on immediately, says 316 Vibes. If we're a serious club, Matoma and Welbeck would have been signed 3 years ago, says Abby. The Ineos Jeep has massage seats for the back, says 1 Inch Wonder. Would be in the Championship before we next win the Premier League, says Bartley. Hope your back's better soon, says Daniel. Try stretching. I've done that one. Thank you very much from Constantine. Try that as well. I was begging for Agate when we got him, says Son of United. So was I. I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with getting it wrong about a signing. You know, I expected Cunha to be completely different to this, but we've misused him. We've misprofiled him. Agate, you know, you look at him, he was one of the best ball winners in Europe. So you think you drop him in a midfield three, and our midfield was crap when we bought Agate. It was Mainoo, Casemiro and Bruno. Crying out for a bit of legs, but it's just not worked. Veron, but I always say Veron. Juan Sebastian Veron was one of the best players. I loved watching him. Came to Man United, he was shit. What I'm trying to say is any signing can flop. There are no guarantees. Lacey for Mount, Casemiro for Manu, and Heaven for Yoro. Yeah, I'd bring Casemiro on and let Mainoo go a little bit further up the pitch. Oh, he's just sent Agate there. Good play by Mainoo. Just stop passing to Delo, basically. Good play, Cunha. I don't think that was a foul. Shaw on left back, Dorgu right wing. Shaw's not on the bench, Stephen. He's not involved at all, Luke Shaw, today. Take an Epsom salts bath tonight, Mark. Says, oh, I'll tell you what, a bath sounds bloody lovely. You know you're getting old when a bath sounds great. Although, in my younger days, I used to love a bath after a match. You have to shower yourself down first to get all the mud off. There's nothing worse than getting in a hot bath when you've played football with muddy legs. But we've all been there. Looks like a dirty protest. But, yeah, a nice hot bath when you've played a good game of football. So none of this lot have a hot bath, do they? Look at Brighton here. Stand him up. Stand him up. Good play, Dorgu. Very intelligent from Dorgu there. I'm a physio. When you have lower back pain, it's usually connected to tight hips. Go on YouTube and find exercises so you can get your hips more mobile, says Juan. Shaw on left, but I've done that one. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Nearly 60,000 of you. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. I don't know what we're heading for at the moment, but I will tell you now. Heading out the FA Cup, that's what we're doing. Yeah, we're only 100 subscribers away from 235,000. So please do subscribe. Get involved with the channel. Daily content, 10 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Been lots of good conversations the last week or so. So get involved with the United Stand every night at 8 o'clock every morning, 10 o'clock. 2 o'clock shows as well. Start of a new week at United tomorrow. Are we going to be in the Cup? We need to be in the Cup. I mean, I don't... Look, Brighton haven't gone strong. Not their first choice goalkeeper. Not their first choice centre-backs. Not their first choice midfielders. Matoma on the bench. United have gone strong. Nobody's been left. You know, this is a strong Man United side. And yet here we are. Last time Ollie came in, he changed nothing tactically and played on vibes and individualism. Now this squad has been playing a very specific 3-4-3 for a year, has less individual quality and no left forward, says Goldbridge. Could be a disc bulge, Mark. Get an MRI if you can, says Sean. Lower back pain cure, pints multiple, says Son of United. This team plays like they don't care, says 95. I think they do care. I just don't think they're good enough, mate. I think that's been proven over multiple years. Xerxes could change the game, says 1 Inch Wonder. I think we will see Xerxes. Get rid of our last real manager. Now they're interviewing yes men for the fucking job. Leaderships are in over their head and everyone knows it, says Island Boy. Just not winning the ball, is it? Bruno's having a bad game. Doesn't look sharp. I mean, Brighton are toying with us a little bit. They look a lot sharper. It's like a training ground for them. I thought that was a corner. He's given a goal kick. Not quite sure how he's given a goal kick here because even I thought this deflected. I thought it was a good block. Oh, no, maybe went through his legs. Yeah, maybe it didn't. Fair play, ref. If you could sign 3 Arsenal players, who would you sign, says Enza? I mean, it wouldn't be a bloody enough. I'd sign Saka, Rice, and another midfielder, please. Zubamendi, I think. No, Timber. Get rid of fucking Delo. Yeah, Timber, Rice, and Zubamendi. You've got to take midfielders. You've got to take midfielders. Delo has stolen a living for too long, says Glenn. No, I think Delo used to be a good player. I'm not having that. I just think it's just not turned out the way we thought it was going to be. My surefire advice is try not having a bad back. Yours sincerely, Jason Wilcox, says Steve. Thank you. I would love to see some of the pass completion stats from our players. So off it on basic passes, it's a joke. Brighton are growing into this game, says Reese. Well, the thing for Brighton is, I haven't looked at their bench, but I presume they can get stronger when they've got the likes of Van Heck, Mitoma, Dunk and Ayari. They're actually first team players, aren't they? So they can strengthen their team. Cunha's been off it today, says Brooke. I tell you what, this number 8 for Brighton's good. Grudder. Well done, Agate. They're really good in the tackle, Brighton. I'm not messing about. They are. Oh, Welbeck should not be running away from Mainoo like that. Fucking hell, mate. Yellow card as well. He's on the touchline with 3 Man United players there, and he ends up going past them all. That's poor. It's poor by Martinez, and it's poor by Mainoo. And he's ended up getting booked for it. Cunha's poor, says MOT. Gitz has gifted a membership. Yeah, a couple of people talking about Cunha. Check out Tim Anderson's original strength. Sit in the bottom of a squat with a lightweight 10 for a minute. Hips will be the issue. What, so I just squat down for 10 minutes with a lightweight weight? Hold on a minute. Brighton are on the attack. Cunha's got to get that. Not strong enough. Well, he was, but the ball didn't go out. So if I go into a squat, squat's one of them, isn't it? Well, I know what a squat is, yeah. Oh, where's the marking again? Oh, I've got a squat in here. Oh, yeah. Tell you what, that does feel good. Yeah, that's a good squat. I don't think I'm going to make it back up again. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good. I'm going to try and come back. It's a shame that Dorgu will probably be dropped when the AFCON players come back. He's been our best player, says Ollie. Game's gone, Mark, says Glenn Castle. Subs, please. Subs, please. Yeah, here we go. Xerxes and Lacey. I agree. Sesko for Xerxes, Lacey for Mount. I agree. Good subs. Losing the midfield battle as usual. We really do need midfielders. No difference in performance. No, he took Mainoo off. Oh, strange. He's going to put Bruno in the midfield. Oh, fucking hell. So Bruno's going back into the midfield again. No, Mount's coming. Oh, I don't know what we're doing here. Hold on a minute. Mainoo and Mount off. So Lacey, yeah, Xerxes going in the midfield, isn't he? He's going into number 10, and Bruno's going into the midfield. We'll just bring Casemiro on. Heaven for Delo, Lissandro to left back, and Dorgo to right back, says Rasson. So, Mark, will you rather have the substitute teacher or Ollie, says Black Wolf. Why do they keep going to the Fletchers on the bench? Like, he's not going to bring them on. And he shouldn't bring them on. Can you turn around while you squat so we can see, says Nylam. And losing the midfield, right, I've done that one. I'd like to see Martinez, Mainoo midfield, says Junkyard. I'm trying to figure out what we're doing here. I think he's just trying to attack, isn't he? To be fair, I just think he's trying to get us more attacking. Yeah, Bruno's gone into the Agate role, and Agate's gone into the Mainoo role, and Xerxes has gone into the Bruno role. So Bruno's gone to the Agate role, Agate's gone to the Mainoo role, and Xerxes has gone to the Bruno role. Which means we should go more attacking, but obviously it might leave us a little bit more defensive. Get the ball to Lacey, that's what I said. What a touch. I just think Brighton have been so clean on the ball, really clean. Brighton have only won 2 games away from home all season. They're not. They play very open, and they're, games against Brighton are normally very good, but not because they're 1-0s. Like, there's normally a lot of goals in them, and they normally concede. Got to be offside there. Gruder. Welbeck. Oh, what a goal. I think he's offside. We won't be offside. He won't be offside. What? I mean, at the end of the day, what a fucking goal. What a goal. I mean, I'm not even going to get mad. What a goal. We go attacking and we concede straight away. Bruno into the midfield. Forget about it. Forget about it. What a goal. What a goal. Yeah, very rare. I normally lose my shit. What a goal. Fair play. Brilliant. He runs off. I mean, where's the mid? Where's Mount? There's no marking, is there? It's a brilliant goal. We're just too open at the back. Where's the midfield? Where's Martinez? Like, why is Yoro not tight enough to Welbeck there? Just lost all shape, didn't we, post the substitution? I think 5 minutes ago, that goal doesn't happen because we've got Mainoo and Agate. We make the change to go more attacking and they score, and that's the danger, isn't it? Agate's out of position. Martinez is out of position. Yoro's not tight on Welbeck. And I think that all comes down to a manager that's tried to change things. And they're in again here. We're wide open. We're too open here. We need a goal. I think you're offside, Sesko. You're offside, mate. Now we know why Amrin played 5 defenders, says Chickens. Well, we're conceding 2 goals a game, aren't we, with the back 4? I said this. I said, what a finish by Welbeck. I said that going to a back 4 is going to be a problem because our midfield is not good enough and you've only got, you're losing a defender. At least when you had 3 defenders, that goal probably doesn't happen because you've got 3 centre-backs instead of 2. Fletcher not bringing on Casemiro rules him out, says Marble. Amrim somewhere sipping on a nice port, laughing to himself. How's the back 4 treating you, says Alec. Ricky will be like, I told you, Beth, says Spin. Wilcox looks so stupid now, says Mario. Well, we're not out yet, but our defence is so bad, no marking, says Toby. I agree with the training exercise. I mean, I've been saying it all second half, and I've seen a lot of you saying it as well. Brighton are just enjoying themselves. And as I said, away from home, they don't tend to win a lot of games, but they're enjoying themselves. They're just knocking it around. That's why I said that was a good goal from Brighton. You can't... Yeah, there's more holes in it than a hedgehog's pillow from United's defence, but... our defence bad, says Toby. Can we get Welbeck back? No manager can fix this, says Marlowe. Sack the interim now, says Gary. Now we know why Amrin played 5 as well, says Chicken. It's not your back, your butt is mad because you sat down to wipe, says Brian. That might have been it. Let's switch to back 4, then we'll surely win this, says Ammo. Is this the midfield everyone was crying for that was going to win us the league, says Default. Now I fully comprehend why Bruno was at 8, because this is shit, says Default. Well, Bruno's back at 8 and we conceded again. 3 Manchester United fans from this shit, says Sebastian. Lacey about to do a madness, says My House. There's a Toblerone at the bottom of that squat, Mark, says 1 Inch Wonder. Heaven for the low, let's have done that as well. Wilcox should be sacked tonight. My tweet says it all. Lacey. Oh, I tell you what. Was that Lacey putting the cross in or was it Delo? It's Lacey. What a cross. Sesko's got a lot to do, but it's a lovely cross by Lacey, and yeah, it's a lot to do for Sesko there. The players need repercussions. They're never punished for awful displays. Contracts need to be structured with pay deductions for poor results. I'd also not try if I got paid 150 quid for 150 grand a week for losing, says Magic Mike. Yeah, remember, these are the players that old wanker Wilcox and bullshitter Barada went and spoke to on Tuesday and asked them who should be the next manager. I mean, I wouldn't give a fucking shit. I wouldn't give a toss what the players want. I really wouldn't give a toss. If anyone did their homework, they would have known Welbeck as an issue, and yet no proper marking. 8 goals against us, says Irfan. It's okay, Fletcher will speak well in the presser, says Alm. Yeah, well, Fletcher can't have the job. Fletcher can't get the job. For me, it's Carrick. Out of what's there, it'd have to be Carrick. Because, I mean, Brighton have took the piss. The players need... I've done that one from Magic. Can't even beat Brighton B-side. Drew to Burnley. Amrim out has never had a plan, says Cinema Draw. I don't play... Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Let's not divide the fan base here, right? Amrim outers wanted Amrim out to bring in someone like Xavi or Tuchel. They didn't want Amrim out to bring in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or Fletcher. So Amrim outers may have got what they wanted, but I don't think they'd have took it knowing why they did it. I don't think Amrim outers wanted Amrim to go because he didn't want transfers and Wilcox wanted a back four and we were going to get Ollie. I think they wanted Amrim out to get a better manager. I don't think they wanted this, in fairness. The reason Amrim's out is because of the twats in charge. So I don't think it's about the fans. This is completely on the board and the owners. Let's get real. I think people forget how shit we are at defending when we had a back four. I think it's a great point. I'm going to make it in the match reaction. I just hope we can get a goal back. 20 minutes. Remember how open we were under Ten Hag? It's the same players as Marble. But you know, I'd rather not be learning this lesson, but we have walked this road before. I mean, I saw the clip of Gary Neville saying that Ten Hag should try 3 at the back. And then we try 3 at the back and everyone's saying we need to go back to a back 4. It's like you walk the cycle all the time. But when we played a back 4 under Ten Hag, the midfield was wide open and the defence got overrun. And effectively, both their goals, our defence has been overrun. So, you know, I think Amrim had a plan to stop us conceding silly goals. And it was working this season. You know, defensively, we were doing okay with 3 centre-backs. We go to 2 centre-backs and we're wide open again, just like we were under Ten Hag. I prefer the back 4, but it was moronic to think that the formation change was the problem. It wasn't the problem because we've sacked multiple managers playing a back 4. It's scary that the best striker on the pitch is a player we sold 10 years ago, says Jake. So who's ready to admit Amrim was right about Mainoo, says Fabian. I wouldn't have took Mainoo off. I mean, maybe he's been took off because he's on a yellow, but are we really doing that now? Go on, Lacey. No, he's been tackled there. Kadioglu's a good player. You don't need to take people off just because they're on a yellow card. I like this number 8 for Brighton, Grudder. They're so good on the ball, Brighton. And I don't think they're one of the best teams in the world on the ball, but they make us look like bloody blindfolded toddlers. Amrim out, says Aditio. That's on Agate. Downright lazy, Mark, says DBX. Remember when Rooney wanted to leave in 2010 because of a lack of ambition in the transfer market? 2026 and we're sacking managers for the same reason, says Avi. Look, I have no sympathy for the players, but let's not forget the players didn't sack this manager. They're probably as pissed off and as confused as the fans are because they were probably thinking we're a part of a project and now we're not. Out of the cup already, bring back Amrim, says Glenn. Next 2 games next 2 games, Man City and Arsenal. Ollie would need a fucking miracle, and Carrick, and any manager would need a miracle. Welbeck becomes untouchable against us. Pure aura, says Rajaf. The board is killing United, says Ian. Dumb fans, but Amrin was the problem, says Fallow. So fucking tired of Cunha, no better than Garnacho, says A4. Robbo, Amrim out. Hey, wait a minute, says Robbo. This is going to be a 40-game season. Miserable, says Andrew. Surely this is the board sacked in the morning, says Stephen. Hold on, I just go quiet when Lacey gets the ball. I'm not convinced crosses into the box are going to work against Brighton as well. They're good in the air. Yeah, just going back to sacking the board. Can we just clip this for a moment, or just preserve this moment? So, Man United had a manager last week. They sacked him because Jason Wilcox, Sir Jim Radcliffe, and the board wanted us to go to a back 4 and refused to sign players in January. Here we are a week later, we're not signing players, we're fucking shit, we're playing a back 4, and we're even worse. So yes, we sacked the manager because we didn't want to back him and we wanted to play a back 4, and that's our ownership. So what you're watching here at the moment, and what you watched on Tuesday against Burnley, is the ownership's plan. So yes, they should be fucking sacked. Xerxes. No. Can we finish the season now, says Steve. The team's more broken than your back. Spineless, says Fairway 5. Wilcox looks so stupid today, says Mario. Mate, he looks an absolute prat. Let's be honest. Fletcher is out of his depth, says Zap. I mean, I haven't got a problem with Fletcher. You know, it's pot luck. Matoma's coming on as well now. Anna Yahi and Van Heck. They're bringing on first teamers now. Like, Fletcher's just lucky. Like, if Fletcher had been good, it's pure luck. Why should your under-18 coach be good enough to manage Premier League football? The chances were that Fletcher wasn't going to be very good. Absolute numb at this point. No direction in this organisation, says Mason. Bring back Palestri and Greenwood, says Alex. This is depressing, says World Padlock. Everyone talk about percentage. Fun fact, Mainoo lost 100% matches he starts, says Jay. Players devoid of confidence, no January signings and manager upheaval. I'd bet a sizable sum this squad is more likely to finish 14th than 4th, says Jim. Look, if we don't win this game, there's talk of protests for the Fulham game. We've got Man City and Arsenal to come. The season is literally dying in front of our eyes. Maybe there is going to be some momentum around removing these owners. Maybe that's the positive thing. Maybe it can happen. I'd love to think it could. But, you know, the last week has been abysmal and it's got worse. And I remember saying this to you a few days ago. We sacked a manager. Yeah, we've sacked loads of managers, but we sacked a manager not because the player's down tools. We sacked a manager because our director of football and owner decided to play God and do an ego trip and try and change the formation and not buy players. That's why we sacked the manager. So, you know, I don't think the players are going to be on board with this either. I was getting hate for saying at least we're not losing 7-0 with the back 3 with these set of players, says Roosh. Sir Jim sacks Wilcox. He admits he was also wrong. Well, he should sack himself, MMA takedown. Remember he did that interview and said, if I get a load of shit, I'll leave. Yeah, just go, mate. Bruno looks completely uninspired, says Marlowe. Yeah, but you know what? Some people fell for the spin. When Wilcox and Barada and Fletcher were talking to the players on Tuesday, everyone was really excited. Total bollocks. Total nonsense. Half the team were not happy and very, very disillusioned. And I would imagine Bruno might be one of them. Protests for Ruben in as manager, not just coach. Wilcox out. Can fans do anything, says George. Sell the whole team and buy all Brighton's players, says Daniel. Yeah, but Brighton's players would still be shit at United because they'd still have our board. Lacey Cross. Mainoo's not intense enough, says Syke. Look, I don't think Mainoo was terrible, and I don't think Mainoo was any worse than Bruno or Agate, who were still on the pitch. So I don't think you can make it about Mainoo. Casemiro and Maguire coming on. Let's roll it back, Leon. Ruben was right. If Neville comments rattle you as a board, then you as a board are the problem. Wilcox telling Amrin what formation to play is like me telling Michael Jackson how to win a Grammy, says Magic Mike. Instead of prioritising new signings to fix the squad, Wilcox and co are wasting time searching for interns. It's madness, says Gandos. These players look like they're playing for the first time. No moving off the ball, no asking for passes, not making it hard, Brighton, says Mozza. Please give us your plan to save United, says Nell. Yeah, get rid of the owners. I'm 100% with you on the Glazers and Ineos, Mark, but you were hammering doubt for weeks. Mourners should be careful what they ask for. Yeah, mate, I've seen a few people saying this, right? And it's really easy for me to answer. Did I ever say hammer him out? No. Did I say give him the season? Yes. So what are you talking about? I don't own the club. I'm not the director of football. I don't make the decisions, and I didn't say hammer him out. I said give him the season. So I've seen a few people going, well, Goldbridge is a hypocrite because he wasn't happy with Amrim. Yeah, we did drop a lot of points. Wolves, Everton at home. You know, there was pressure on Amrim, but I said back him in January and give him the season. So I'm not pretending that it was great under Amrim, but it was better than this. And ultimately, we need to buy players in January. And it's all a smokescreen to sack him so that they don't have to. Our wingers are like vending machines. Lots of options, nothing you want, says Prestiged. Can understand your point on the management and the board, but at the end of the day, we didn't take our chances in the first half and it's punished us, says Ez. I don't feel like we had chances in the first half, mate. I don't feel like we had chances. I think Delo had a chance, and him scoring, you'd expect him to miss. Mark, change the manager on player ratings to Wilcox as the interim is a yes man. Can't be the manager about 7 different ones with different styles, says Connor. Yeah, there's still idiots that have watched us go through 10 managers in 13 years and think Amrin was the problem. This is mostly Brighton's B team, says Kieran. And watching this and Burnley alongside no transfers is going to lead to a scary end to the season, says Slath. Seriously, though, what kind of club asks the players what manager they want? This is why we are where we are, says James. Imagine playing City next, says Gabriel. And Andreas says, I'm at the point where I'm laughing at how bad we are and that the inaptitude of the board is for the world to see. I feel nothing for this current United, says Andreas. The back four worked because Bruno wasn't in the team, says Jack. You're getting done by veteran Welbeck, says It's MVP. And your last few videos, Mark, were spot on. We're done, says Eddie. Well, we just got to try and whip some crosses into the box now to Maguire, although Maguire's actually not gone up front. I thought Maguire was coming on to go up front. No, he's coming on because Martinez needs to come off. Okay. All right, that's. I literally thought we were going to put... Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear. Can't even create good chances against open sides like Brighton now. Apparently this is much better than Amrim, according to some, says Zocco. Well, the thing about the Amrim system is these sort of teams, as we saw back when we played Brighton's first team in October and Bournemouth, these open teams, Liverpool, we created loads of chance against them. Now we've gone to the back four, we're not creating chances again, are we? Second ball, come on. Ah, fucking hell. PJ says we're going to drop down the league like a dingleberry. Next 2 games worry me because Man City and Arsenal... I mean, look, we could turn the light on, but Man City and Arsenal are going for... They need the points. It's a Premier League title race, and they're not going to pick their reserves, and they're very good teams. So how we're going to get anything against them, I don't know. Wee Man, thanks very much. Welcome to Members Club. Him says, I apologise, I can't take this anymore. The club's directors is a joke. I stress too much in hope for a change and relive some type of prosperity. I won't be watching United anymore, and I truly wish everyone the best. Glinios obsessed with learner drivers, players and managers, says Kelvin. These players don't look very happy, says me, the lemon lover. Well, it's embarrassing, isn't it? It's embarrassing. You know, you spend a year learning something and then they abandon it and then you're getting embarrassed in the cup. And we needed to win this game. Like, let's not mess about. Going out the cup, if you're Crystal Palace, probably doesn't matter, or Forest, because you've got the Europa League, you know, you've got the Conference League. For us, this was a pathway into Europe, gone again. We're going to have a 40-game season, sack Wilcox, says Sir Digby. Is Sir Jim as angry as us real fans, do you think? I've become numb, says Jordan. I sent you a message on Instagram. It was too long for a super chat. I'd love to get your opinion, says the Toasted S'mores. I mean, I'm crap on Instagram, mate, but I'll try. I don't think the players agreed with the sacking, says Kizza. Season's over and we know it, says Corey. First time super chat, says Inner. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm honestly tired and sick of the club. I've been watching United for 27 years and I'm so sick and tired of this club. I hope we can fix this soon. And then the words of someone we will suffer, says Inu. Now we play like no system all over the place, says Ejas. Seriously though, what kind of club asks the players what manager they want, says James. You know the positive though, is that I presume there are other certain journalists, maybe content creators, websites, whatever. If this was Amorim, they'd be going, I told you so. I told you. This is why we need to get out of Amorim out. He's a fraud, this, that and the other. What are they actually saying now? Because they never talk about the owners. So who are they blaming now? Because you know what? Are those people like stuck for something to say? Because it's been Amorim out, Amorim out, Amorim out, Amorim out. Well, he's gone and we're still fucking shit. Will they finally start talking about the real problems, or is that over their head? Because I never hear these people talking about Jason Wilcox or Sir Jim Radcliffe or the board, and you can't shout Amorim out now. We're worse. So, like, what are you going to shout about? Are they blaming the owners? I don't know. We've got a goal back. Sesko, 5 minutes to go. Come on. There's a chance. Set piece. Still time. Yeah, he did well there, Sesko, to be fair. Is it Sesko or is it Maguire? Sesko. Both go for the same ball. Good goal. Right, okay. Well, look. 5 minutes to go. We need to work set pieces here. Got to stay in this cup. Got to stay in this cup. Come on, go long. We've got to go long. Not Delo. Not fucking Delo. He's shit. Oh, he's lost the ball again. He is so crap. I'll tell you what, it is like playing with 10 men. We probably would have won this game if we'd had a Mazraoui. Offside. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Please do subscribe. I said when Casemiro and Maguire came on, can we reenact Leon? You were so close to Amorim out, let's not sugarcoat it. Yeah, but I wasn't, Marvel. So, and I don't know what you're even talking about. What's that got to do with having shit owners? Completely irrelevant. With the way the leadership operates this club, they come off as gamblers, constantly gambling for a one-off, turn the club around, says Milo. I think we've got to be very careful that we don't get done on the break here. Well done, Yoro. We've got to commit players forward. Oh, Lacey. I think he's going to get a yellow card for leaving his foot in. My dad said get McLaren, says it's Hopi. Ten Hag in, says Rez. Sesko's in a graveyard shift again, says Emily. Brighton strolling through the midfield most of the game and Delo crap again, yet no signings in January and the manager was the problem, says Emily. She's being sarcastic. Results under Amorim weren't great, but we're better off with him than without him, says Bradley. Yeah, look, I thought Amorim was going to sack himself, and I do think he made some bad choices. But sacking him halfway through the season compared to seeing it through to the summer, to me, you just wouldn't do that. You know, see it through to the summer, because there's no point getting an interim and writing the season off. And, you know, maybe Brighton would have beat us anyway. Sesko! Ooh, he should have gone down. He did get a bit of a pull. He could have gone down. I've got zero sympathy for anyone concerned at United. It's like Ten Hag ball. Combs made zero mention of system, despite pointing out the many gaps between the midfield and the defence, as Smoggy. Oh, I've just got to be careful here. Brighton, he's going to get away from Bruno. He's done well, Bruno, there, but... and the free kick by Cunha. Mark, why blame the owners? I blame Wayne. We should all blame Wayne, says Mitchell Webb. Remember when Ineos Shields said we shouldn't judge how they do by their performance at Nice? All those prats should never be listened to again, says Once. Poochie, Mark, what about Travis Binion taking charge for City? An easy training session for Brighton, says Marlow. Well, hopefully not. There's still time. What if all the players spoke out against Glinios? What would they do? Sack the entire squad, says Quantum. Fletcher playing a back four is so naive, says Seb. Yeah, but he has to, doesn't he? Wilcox has probably told him to pick a back four, and I think he is a back four coach. But it's stupid to change your formation halfway through a season. Pundits, DNA is risk-taking. Risk get you out the cup. Risk you losing 7-0 and Carragher dancing. That's why Amrin was so defensive. Kay says that Cunha's been so underwhelming. Gone a long ball here to Lacey. And he's given a foul. He could get sent off there. He can't throw the ball. He's going to send him off. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Fucking hell. For fuck's sake. I knew as soon as it... come on, ref. I knew it. I knew it. You know when you do that, I thought he's going to give him a second yellow card. The innocence of youth. This is the problem. He's a kid. You know, he's frustrated. He bounces the ball. I don't want to hear anyone having a go at him. I knew he'd get a second. I mean, look, it is a second yellow. It is a yellow card offence. We know that. But he's a kid. And you're chucking a kid into that situation. What do you expect? You know, this is the Ineos model, isn't it? They throw kids in and then they wonder why. He's probably been our best player in the second half as well. Yeah, we're out. Even if we get an equaliser, we're out, aren't we? We can't. We'll get done in extra time with 10 men. I am Joseph says it's a shame you use Prattman for an Arna. Wilcox will deserve it more. If I support Brighton and you weren't Amrim out, how do your own fans not even know that? A whole bunch of Glinios fans in here says, hey, sorry. Delo wouldn't stand out in League 2. He's useless, as Barry. Glazers Rats will be smiling. Realise they don't need top four or big signings, just vibes, says Island Boy. But that, you know, look, I think Lacey's a fantastic talent, but we're chucking him on in a game like this to try and solve problems. And look, he hasn't learnt the game. It's his first few games for Man United. Of course he's going to bloody slam the ball down in frustration. You can say the referee's a twat, but ultimately, how many players have you seen booked for that? Loads. Mr. 1972 says, please, Lord, have mercy on us. Just came and I was about to say, thank God. I thought the game started later. Five minutes added on. Player ratings. Mark every player out of 10. 6 being the average. Dear. I don't think it matters if we get an equaliser now. Because we'd probably get beat in extra time. We've only got 10 men. Both yellow carded there. Harry Maguire as well. Well, the FA Cup that we needed to stay in, we're out. The Carabao Cup that we needed to, I mean, both cups out in the first round, by the way, this season. I mean, when was the last time we did that? Out in the first round of the Carabao Cup and out in the first round of the FA Cup. And let's not forget, we went out even earlier in the Carabao Cup because we were actually playing a round earlier because we weren't in Europe. going to stay in, Yoro. It's going to stay in. Yeah, player ratings, mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. You can do that through the link in the description. I'll pin it in the chat for you as well. If you've not registered, it's free to do. Dorgu on the attack. Can we get 1 goal back and maybe push it to extra time? Be very hard to win in extra time, as I say, against 10 with 10 men. Maguire needs to be put in the box. Yeah, Xerxes not done a hell of a lot. Mount did fuck all. Please subscribe to the channel. We're only 100 away from 235,000. Sack the boards, my title for the match reaction. We still have time for another Cunha missed shot from outside the box, says Nathan. I thought he was going to do it there. Man City next. Maguire showing what United's DNA is, says Jason. No League Cup, no FA Cup, no Europe. What have we become? The owners must pay for their sins, and only way they can do that is to sell the club, says Sice. People need to remember to support Lacey. We need to be behind our youngsters, says Mr. Tovey. Wilcox and Barada Pratt need to F off, says Doy. And another season written off. I'm so tired, says Muntasar. Hi, Mark. My gran says it was 8 Aldi's, says Seamus. Maguire heads it straight at the keeper. Lacey career ended by the press and fans, says Slider. No, I don't think they will. I don't think they will. I think everybody knows he's a quality player. I don't mind a bit of petulance. Nobody gives Shea a crap about the Reds, says Alex. Delo wouldn't stand out in League Two. Look, the fact that we're bringing Lacey on is because Mount was shit, Delo was shit. You know, Xerxes not done anything. Bruno's not had a good game. You know, Lacey actually looked all right when he came on. And that's the final whistle as well. He's added absolutely nothing on. Shite. Absolute shite. Absolute shit from Man United, that was. Really crap. And, you know, I'm reluctant to... This is what I'm saying. My message before I go to do the match reaction, right? My big message is there's a lot of people out there that have been screaming and shouting Amrim out for about 6 months, yeah? Amrim's not here. So I want to know what you're shouting. I want to know what you're shouting about now that you can't shout Amrim out. Because you know what you need to shout? Sack the fucking board. Get rid of these owners. You know, start shouting about the real issues because you thought it was Amorim and it's worse without him. So, you know, people need to scream and shout from the rooftops about this preposterous decision that Sir Jim Radcliffe and Wilcox did to sack a manager because he wanted to be backed and play the formation he plays. And they said, no, we're not backing you. And we want you to play a back four. It's a fucking joke. It's an absolute joke and they need calling out. Anyway, let's go over to the match reaction. I've got lots to say, and I shall speak to you on the next one. I think Darren Fletcher might be having a pop at the referee, mate. Honestly, you've got absolutely nothing to moan about. It was shit. Absolute shit. I'll see you on the match reaction. And the fact is, you know, you look at people like Delo and Bruno and Mount. They were crap. You know, they were crap, which is, you know, they clearly didn't want the manager to be sacked, I don't think. Anyway, I'll see you on the match reaction.